You know, that never gets old. It really doesn't. I don't know why that makes me laugh so much. Just like, that's the weirdest thing. No. Oh my gosh, friends, what a day. What a day. What a day. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. This is...
Okay, I think you need a nap.
I'm still needing that, friend. I am like, I mean, honestly, like how is it possible? There's a question for Spirit. How is it possible that a puppy can literally remind you of exactly your age? I am so tired, you know, and I don't want to admit that this little puppy is like got me going like, please. You know what I mean? Like I'm sitting there trying to bargain with the puppy going, please, mommy's tired. Anywho.
That little, I just give up and lay down on the floor with them, and they're perfectly happy.
You can't do that with this one. You can't do that with this one. So I'm going to share this with y'all. Okay. So for those of you that don't know, myself and my husband, we adopted a little puppy on Monday. It feels like 8 months ago, but it's only been a few days. She is a rescue from the shelter, and she's Maltese mix of some sort. So she's 10 weeks old. She's a whopping like 6.5 something pounds, and she just bounces from spot to spot to spot to spot to spot. She doesn't really walk, and she is feisty, spunky, sassy, you name it. That's the word I'm gonna call it. So she's teething, as all puppies do, and this is what happens. So her name is Rose. Obviously we call her Rosie, right? And because she totally is a Rosie to me. She's got a really bubbly kind of spirit about her until you tell her no. And when you tell her no, a whole new person shows up. So for entertainment purposes only, and cover your ears because I may use a few curse words while I do this. So this is what happens. So you're like, okay, Rosie, we're going to do whatever it is that we're going to do, right? And she's like, nope, not doing it. So then you're like, no, Rosie, that's bad. And she's like, then you're like, Rosie, no. And then she like gets down real low and she stretches her two front paws out and she just looks at you and she's like, and then you say, Rosie, that's not nice. Where's nice Rosie? This is what I like. I'm trying to talk to her like she's totally understanding what I'm saying, right? I'm like, Rosie, that's not nice. Where's good Rosie? Where's nice Rosie? And she goes absolutely berserk, as if she has done this in her head. Mom, that's what she's done to me. And she goes absolutely nuts. She takes the puppy pad. So she is in a what you call a pet playpen that we purchased. It's like a 5 or 4 foot diameter. It's really big. It's a nylon bottom, screen side, screen top. Like, it's beautiful, right? It's in the middle of the living room, taking up the whole living room. And she goes literally berserk. She jumps from spot to spot. She's got the puppy pads, like it's confetti inside of her playpen, all because you deemed to say no to her for whatever the reason was. I mean, how dare you, really? I mean, and she goes literally stark raving loony for like 5 minutes straight. And you just sit there and go like, what is happening? It's like we fed her gasoline or something. Honestly, like it's like, wow. I've never seen a puppy do that before. I mean, I've seen puppies get zoomies. You know what I mean? When they go a little bit, but like not like on cue. Like no. It's like, okay. I'm like, okay. So yesterday somebody dared to ask me, how's it going? And I'm like, okay, do you really want to know? Like, please don't ask me unless you really want to know, because I'm going to tell you. And then you're going to be sorry that you asked. So yesterday, this is how my day went. So I was woken up at 3:30 in the morning by her being ill. Then she had the runs. Then she showed up and she was sick again. Then she had the runs again. Then she decided that she would eat it. And I was just like, okay. In between that, we had the puppy pad confetti. And I was just like, okay, like, can I do this? I was like, oh. Anyway, so. Hi, Donna. No apologies necessary. You're here and we appreciate you. So that's what's been going on. That's how I'm doing. In addition to that, my sister is in the hospital. I want to thank everyone for all of your kind words, your thoughts, your prayers, the healing energy that you sent to her. It is very greatly appreciated, and it means the world to me. So thank you kindly for that. Update on my sister. She'll be there till Tuesday. She has what you call a bula in her lung, which is like an airspace that's bigger than a particular size. So right now they're trying to keep an eye on her. They've medicated her, and she is, her lung is inflated, and so they're keeping her for observation to make sure that the lung stays inflated. We thought that she was going to come home today, but she's not coming home till Tuesday. That's what they're saying now. So we'll see on Tuesday. And the only other thing that I know is that they want to recommend that she sees a lung specialist when she gets released. We don't know why this happened to her. She wasn't sick. She doesn't smoke. She's very, very healthy. So I'm not sure, but I thank everyone for all of your kind thoughts and your prayers, and that was very, very, very much appreciated. So thank you. I let her know that I was doing it, and so she read them all, and so she's very grateful. She felt the love. So thank you, everybody. So my good friend Aunna is here in the house with me.
Hey, everybody. Chris and Louise, as to your comment about your cat, you may want to check your table and make sure there's no water damage to the legs. And the only reason I bring that up is because my cat out of nowhere's lost her mind and started digging at our linoleum floor. After she tore up a hole, we noticed that there was water damage and mold was growing underneath the linoleum. The second I replaced the floor, she stopped. So double check your tables, honey.
And if that doesn't work, then put aluminum foil around them, because the kitty cats won't do that. I don't like aluminum foil. Oh, thank you, Teresa. So thanks, everyone, for being here. This is my friend Aunna, and we are going to do some new moon readings. We're sort of using the new moon reading spread from the Prism Oracle. We got a plethora of cards in front of us, as we always do. Actually, I downsized. I only have 7 from, as opposed to the 11 that I started with today. So
I downsized as well. I went from 9 to 6.
There you go.
At least I can see my desk.
Right. Okay, so before I get too carried away, because I was a little offside earlier today. Keep in mind, I've been away for a week, and with all that's going on, I'm a little like, you know what I mean? So forgive me. So Tomorrow, the wellness reading will be out as it normally is on Mondays. I will be on with Gerald and Aunna tomorrow on Tarot Stash at 2 p.m. Eastern. On Wednesday, I will be back here at Dozen Cats at 2 p.m. with Richie from Longman Tarot. And at 6 p.m., I'll be on Heart and Soul Connected along with a bunch of other people. And then on Friday night, it is Chat and Cards with the S team, the Soul Sisters, Spirit Intuitive, Lisa, and the Stash, aka Tarot Stash, and myself. I have an S in my name, so I can join. And on Sunday, normally Sunday Connections is at 3 p.m. There will no longer be a Sunday Connections at 3 p.m. Next week, to sort of end off the Sunday Connections, Susan Lynn, the psychic medium, will be here, and that will be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So make sure that you got your little bell checked off so that you can, not miss any videos because it's important. Make sure to give us a thumbs up. I stuck Anna's link in the chat. If anyone cares to check her out, I would be most appreciative.
Ditto.
And with that being said, let us know if you want to read. I just literally
Butterfingers today.
Well, don't be Butterfingers. I just literally made a ton of pasta and meat sauce, and oh my gosh, I ate so much. So if I start to disappear, if I start falling forward, someone do something, say something. Boom. Oh. I will have a show probably on Sundays, but it won't be at 3 p.m. In full disclosure, there's so much happening at 3 p.m. and it's not really a good time for me. So I'm gonna move it to maybe another time. But basically, but I'm always around. So, like I said, make sure you have that bell notification ticked off. Well, that's very kind. Thank you so much. Is it Hershey or Hirsch? Or is it Hershey? Thank you, Lise. Lise, I need to put my feet up in a real bad way. I really do. You never know. I had a week off. Anyway, okay. So
technically, can you consider it a week off when you change so much about your daily routine in such a short period of time?
Well, and I was here on Tuesday, so Hershey like the candy. I love it. Cool. Hi, Hampton City. Ocean Garnett's here in the house, and so is Sue Toffee. Hi, Sue. Good to see you. Kristen Louise, as Aunna was saying. Teresa K. Miss Sharon Lee is in the house. Hi, Sharon. How you feeling? How you doing? Hope you're well. Teresa B is in the house. Who else is here? Dinah is here. I think I already said hello to Dinah. I promise you guys that I will be okay. Come Wednesday, I should be back in the game. So I feel I'm a little off. Woohoo! But it's going to be fun. That's all I can tell you. So thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for all that are watching and who will watch in the future. Of course, this is for entertainment purposes only. The new moon is in Pisces. So they tell us. And I will tell you guys that yesterday I was sitting there and thinking about knowing we were doing the new moon readings. And I thought, are you sure that it's not a full moon? Because it feels kind of like the energy kind of felt like a full moon, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
And then I was like, so is this puppy or is this full moon or what? It's one of the very first times that I actually was looking to the energy for an excuse for why things were going so bad. Do you know what I mean? I was like, please let it be because of a full moon. That would be great. But yeah, that wasn't it. Oh, that's cool, Hypnocity. She got to meet Allie and Wiki yesterday. You went to see Allie and Terry. That's awesome. She says she's exhausted. Well, that's awesome. Kristen would like a reading. Lise would like a reading. I've got Ivana and I've got Hershey.
I thought there was one earlier.
Maybe.
Let me go back to the top.
That's why Aunna's here. I need help. Like literally.
I could be imagining things right now. You can't depend on me for anything but sitting here.
Awesome. Well, between the two of us, we should get it right. Hypnocity says it was a great fair and I bought some crystals. I saw Terry running around. Good stuff. Glad that you had a good time. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we?
Sure.
Let's put Hershey up on deck there. And away we go. Sue Toffee, absolutely, my friend. Whoa. Hello, Rose. Hi, I'm Steve. Oh, there goes my camera. Awesome. If I have to leave, it's because I'm fixing my camera. Or I will be back. I'm gonna
You're gonna kick yourself out?
Yeah, I'm gonna kick myself out and come back. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Maybe it's okay. So Rose says,
help, my BFF just called.
Chemo.
Her sister is there, stresses her too much. Now there's ulcer. Do I need to go to San Antonio in the next 48 hours? Huh.
So I'm Steve's like, hi, Aunna and Kelly. How do you know I'm not already watching this in the future now? That's a great question. And that's a lot for me right now, Steve. I mean, really, that's a lot. My camera is doing all kinds of goofy stuff. Hi, JR.
Well, I mean, Steve, to be technical, according to the scientists, time is a human construct. It's not something that truly exists. So you could be watching this in the future and in the past and now all at the same time.
Is that better? Very high tech here. It doesn't get. How you guys doing? Oh, you guys just wanted to see if I was wearing my pajamas. I'm not. Track pants. Baggy ones at that.
Well, I'm not a scientist, Kristen.
Louise.
However, I was always under the impression that it wasn't so much time that caused us to age as much it was the gravity. I could be wrong. It's just my
listen. This isn't smart. Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
I lose every day. Fifth graders nowadays know a heck of a lot more.
That's what I'm saying. This is not. Yes, exactly. Ellen says at least
there
Kelly is good. Lisa says, "Go ahead, Kelly. Sleep under the desk. Pick a card." That's why I laugh. Oh my god. You guys, I mean, really, what is going on? Who's on first?
Oh, Hershey. Message for Hershey.
Hi, Michelle. What? Like, seriously, camera, come on.
Might have to call Mark.
Well, I can't call Mark because he's on puppy watch and like.
That's what the puppy pen is for.
Well, here's what's going to happen. So if this goes south, you will just be looking at Aunna and my hands because I have another camera. I'll just switch it.
Okay.
So it'll be my desk. How exciting. Hope you're doing well, Michelle. It's good to see you. Okay, let's get started, my friend, with Hershey's reading. If I would shut up and get on with it, things would happen, right? Okay, here we go.
What should your new moon intention be? It's all about reconnecting with your ancestors, your parents or your grandparents, if they're still currently living, connecting spiritually with the great grandparents and so on. Learning where you came from, why you are the being that you are today. How can you best incorporate this into your life during this month? Is through passion, basically, because you got the Sacred Lust card. It's about connecting to your lineage. You're going to find certain things that make you proud, make you feel empowered.
Yep.
Hold on to that. Allow that to guide you along your steps. And the outcome of the lesson for this phase, is what you got was the desire card. But if you notice, she's holding a quarter moon bow and arrow.
That's pretty card.
She, by connecting to her heritage, by finding the things that bring her passion, she figures out how to her desires. And instead of being pulled off on 5 or 6 different paths, this knowledge that you gain, you target what you want most, help you focus on what you want most. I mean, new moon is going to be really good for you. You're rubbing off on me, Kelly. You got me thinking that the new moon's a full moon. You're rubbing off on me.
Sorry, honey. Okay, so I sort of have a little bit of sort of like what Aunna was getting ish. Sort of ish. And you'll notice that I do that when I'm reading with someone and they're getting the same thing that I'm getting. I'm doing down like the dog in the back of the window going, yep, yep, as if you guys can see what I'm looking at. We start out with the 3 of air, or the 3 of swords. So this is about, sorrow. It's about loss. It's about an opportunity to start to heal from that loss. It's about forgiveness. It's the release of that, the letting go, right? That's the energy coming in from the past. Normally when it falls in the way that these cards have fallen, just as an FYI. So in terms of the spread that we're doing, so what should your new moon intention be? Your new moon intention should be something like letting things leave you, right? To be able to process your emotions and your feelings about maybe past things that have happened, or possibly current things, and to be able to rise above it instead of letting it sort of fester, right? So releasing that burden from yourself is what your new moon intention should be. So how can you best incorporate that? Now check this out. Look really, 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 really closely at that picture. Can you see that he has a bow and arrow?
Yes.
How crazy is that? Okay.
And
so
he's wearing a quiver on his back.
Exactly. So see the big picture. Now, that sounds real easy for a lot of people to see, but seeing the big picture means to either step out or step back, look at things from a new perspective. I often say, like, go up. Instead of looking at something straight on, maybe go up and look at it sort of like a bird's eye view and take in the whole scope of the situation. Gaining different perspectives, new understandings, allows us to take the fear or the unknown sort of out of a situation to make it more palatable for us, if that makes sense. Hi, Rhonda. Good to see you. Hi, Jan's Free. Hi, Ron. And the last card that we have for you, Hershey, this is the outcome or the lesson of this new moon phase. Okay, we have the Knight of Earth or the Knight of Pentacles. See how she's holding on to that coin? Right? Like it's the only, like it's like it's her prized possession, right? The only thing that matters to her. So this is about being responsible. It's about being organized. It's about, having all of your ducks in a row so that you can go forward on that path and be successful on that path. It's about being supportive and being supported, right? So you support others and others support you. You're like not in a good friend kind of way, but in an uplifting kind of way, if that makes sense. So all together, right? You have the releasing of the burdens and freeing yourself from that weight, right? Gaining a new perspective and looking at a situation from a different perspective. Because you've done that, now you're able to move forward and support yourself on the journey. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. Sure, Linda, absolutely. So that's what I got for you, Hershey. I hope that resonates. Hope that makes sense. And thank you for asking the question, darling. And thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that as well, of course. Miss Aunna Intuitive. Hello. Oh, okay. Thank you, Hershey, for saying so. Appreciate that. Makes total sense to me and the situation I'm going through right now. Many blessings to you, my dear. All right, Miss Aunna would like a new moon reading. She says, I know that emoji is a full moon. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that's it. You can only use the new moon emoji if you can find it. All right, Miss Aunna Intuitive. Miss Aunna Intuitive. What have we got? I don't know why I say Miss Aunna Intuitive. I have no idea. It's weird. Okay. For all of my Canadian friends here, Ron, Linda, okay? For all of my Canadian friends, we have this great egg commercial on TV, okay? And every time I say it's weird, I think of the egg commercial because part of the thing on the egg commercial is one person says you're weird and the other person says I'm not weird, you're weird. And I don't know why it makes me giggle. That's funny. I'm not weird, you're weird. Anyway, there's one particular commercial. Can I just share? There's one particular commercial where the guy, okay, there's like a son of a family and he's like a teenager, an older teenager. Mom is at home cooking like lunch. Son is there with his girlfriend and the daughter of the family is sitting at the table and she's eating eggs, right? And the son comes in and says something to her like, you're weird. She goes, I'm not weird, you're weird. Your girlfriend looks like mom. Just think it's the funniest commercial ever.
Wow.
Okay. Sorry, I don't even know where that came from, you guys. I told you, I'm a mess. Go ahead.
Okay. Aunna.
Talk amongst yourselves, I'll be fine.
Your new moon intention should be all about reduction.
She says you're weird, laugh out loud. Whoops, I hit the return key and sent that before I finished typing. Sure you did, Aunna. Sure.
When I focus on this card, I'm feeling that You have your tentacles in a lot of different pies, and you're cutting yourself short because you're not giving yourself enough time to relax, recalibrate, balance, and connect to what it is that you are truly trying to achieve. It's like, when I see this card, it's all about, you have this goal and you intend to get there no matter what happens. But because you're so insistent on the outcome, you got your fingers in a bunch of little pies trying to figure out which road is best to travel, and you're not actually listening to what your soul is telling you. Okay?
Ooh, Anna's going deep.
Slow down and assess what it is you truly want. The best way to incorporate this into your life is to retain hope. Okay? So long as you maintain the hope and you continue moving forward one step at a time, not one leap, one step at a time, you will get to where you want to go. Okay? Don't try to be in a rush to get there. Hold on to the image in your mind. Hold on to your intentions and keep moving forward. You continue doing that, and along the way, you will find, the lesson that you will find is where you, as an individual that is growing, needs to focus your commitment. What is worth your time and your energy to get where you want to go? Stop allowing other people to distract you with petty BS when you have a path that you want to walk. Don't allow the distraction. Stay focused. Get rid of the BS. Okay, that was a little mama bear, so sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry. Right?
It came out.
Okay, so, because this is how Anna and I read. She tells the end of the story, and I tell the beginning of the story, which I should then go first, but it always does it. I don't know why that happens, but that's what happens when you read with me, right?
Yeah.
You tell the end, I tell the beginning. So, what should your new moon intention be?
Yep.
Today I'm co-signing what she's doing. I'm just here for backup. She doesn't really need me, friends. How can you best incorporate it? We got this earlier today when we did the Vibe Tribe, right? This is balance your spirituality and your practicality. Well, that just sounds very generic, because everybody can say that, and everybody kind of already knows that we have to maintain that balance. And when we don't, we get sort of feeling a little wobbly, right? Yep. So the outcome or the lesson for this new moon phase. We have the Page of Fire. Okay, so this is the passion. Where's the passion? Are you just doing stuff to do it, or are you doing it because you want to do it, because you love to do it, right? Like you live, breathe, and sleep it, or are you just doing it because you have to, right? And is there a way that you can turn that I have to do this into, you know what, I actually kind of dig it because I'm good at it. It makes me feel good. You know what I mean? Like if you can turn it around or reignite your passion for it or your enthusiasm for it. This is about enthusiasm and motivation. Sometimes we don't have the luxury of making something, like working our dream job, for example. So we have to make our job work for us instead of the other way around. And what I mean by that is there's got to be something in that job that you do that you feel good about, that you feel proud of, that you feel a sense of contentment when you put your head on your pillow. Do you know what I mean? Use that as your motivator, that as your inspiration, that as your sort of sense of support, as opposed to just thinking about all the negative things. And I think sometimes when you step back from that and can turn it around, you see it from a whole new light, if that makes sense. Okay. Now, I just want to point out that on the bottom of the deck, we had the Knight of Air. So this is about speaking your truth, right? This is about being very smart, very analytical, very strategic, very determined, and motivated. So you've got two motivateds here. So I think you know exactly what you want to do. You're getting caught up in the details, is what I think. And the best way that I know how to not get caught up in the details is to take a step back from it and just allow things to unfold naturally.
And based on what you just said and what I just read, that's the best advice she could have gotten. Because Aunna, I can totally relate to the desire to find what resonates with you. But if you are...
Sorry.
Okay, I'm going to use me as an example. Right now, I have a specific desire to achieve a little bit of peace and quiet, set up my office my way, redo my house. In the process, I have to also deal with moving 4 houses within a month's time in order to get everything set up. My brain and my time are split in so many different directions that I feel like I am going nowhere.
Right.
I know I'm taking the steps to achieve what I want to achieve.
Right.
But they are all scattered in different directions that I do not see that forward momentum.
Yeah.
That is where you are right now. You're dipping your fingers into this and that and this
Absolutely.
and that to find out what resonates, and you're not giving yourself enough time to assess each one individually. Take the time. Find your focus. That's where you need to be. You try to jump from one to another, you're not going to see growth within yourself. Right?
See.
Okay, now I'm off my soapbox.
No, listen, it's all good. It's all good. I think that, like, okay, let's take me for example. Here, doing what I do, right? This channel. I'm not a one-trick pony. I can do lots of stuff, you know? And I love doing lots of different things. And I like to learn new things. I like to challenge myself. And I like to, you know, sort of explore different avenues. I don't know if it's going to resonate. I don't know if I'm going to like it, if others are going to like it. But I can't not try it. You know, if I feel a particular way about it, I want to spread my wings. I guess where I was vibing with that, and this for me, this is for anybody. But again, this is what I do. Try it. And if it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. It's a lesson. It's an experience.
Yeah.
Right? You can check it off your bucket list, whatever the case may be, and you move forward. Right? Don't beat yourself up. Don't give yourself a hard time. Like, oh, that was 2 weeks of my life I'll never get back, or 2 months, or whatever the case may be. Just move on. It was a lesson. It was an experience. Move forward. Right?
I told you where you don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Which gives you a better idea of what path to follow.
100%. Linda, thank you so much for asking about my sister. She is still in hospital. Her lung is sort of still being kept inflated, but she's pretty much able to do that on her own, but the machines are still hooked up to her. And the doctor came in today and said that probably Tuesday she will be released, but she will have to go and see a lung specialist She has bulla, which is spelled B-U-L-L-A, of the lung, or sorry, bulla in the lung, and that's like an airspace that is falls into a certain size category. That's what's caused this to situation, and they don't know why. So, with all that being said, Kristen Louise is up next for a new moon reading. Thank you, everyone, for popping in here. Please make sure that you hit the thumbs up. Hey, Herc. Hey, Kiba. Hey, Farida. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Kristen Louise, my darling.
Oh, by the way, Lee said that she would freak out if Ivana's card said it was weird, because they were talking around in the chat about it. It's weird. That was funny. Go ahead.
Where you should be focusing your intentions is on your psychic abilities, your loving heart, your desire to give to those around you. Because you got the Queen of Water. You are a cup that's overfull with love and care for others. You may not see it all that much in yourself. You may feel like it's reserved for special people, but it's always there at your disposal. Just allow yourself to tap into it, especially when things are feeling a little out of sorts, a little, I don't know, fishy. Tap into that psychic part of you. And the reason why I focused on the psychic part is because the best way for you to incorporate that card is to focus on your good juju. You have good energy. You have that energy that invites people to come in and tell you their deepest, darkest secrets, and know that you're gonna keep it to yourself. No, they know that they can come to you for that good advice, for that shoulder to cry on. But you only have that energy so long as you maintain that connection with spirit. Well, you always have that energy. You only maintain the access, the easy access, if you maintain your connection with spirit. So focus on your psychic abilities. Focus on leading with your heart rather than with the logical part of your mind. And what comes out of that, if you can do those two things, you're shining. You become that leader that unknowingly shines the path for everybody else to follow, because you are a natural born leader. We all are in certain aspects, but when it comes to leading, being able to lead with your heart, being able to show compassion, being able to show, the word is escaping me, tolerance. Tolerance is what just came to mind. It's really easy for us to fall into judgment and anger, but you seem to have an easier ability to display tolerance against ignorance, tolerance against hate. And when I say tolerance, I'm not talking about you accept it willy-nilly and just say that person's just ignorant or whatever and walk away. I mean, you can have that conversation. You can explain to them where they went wrong, and when they don't wish to listen, you can accept the fact that they are not ready to listen. They are not ready to learn. They are not in that specific moment capable of accepting the information that you are giving. And you don't take it hard. You just continue on and you shine your light to the next person and the next person. And without realizing it, you are teaching everyone how to live a life where you can be you without shame, without hesitancy. And that just makes you stronger and makes you shine brighter. So don't give up. Stick to your connection that we all know you've been developing for quite a while. You are more tuned in than even you acknowledge. All right. It's good for you. All right. Now that I feel like mama again.
Joji says that she had a dream about myself. I was hosting some big chat thing. And Ron Unconditional Love was there hosting. That's cool. That was an awesome reading. Hypno City says, Kristen says, thank you. And hi, Kelly. Thank you for being here. So, Kristen, this is what I got for you. So, what should your new moon intention be? You have this really sort of pretty, sort of citrine yellow card that says anxiety. So, your new moon intention should be none of this. No more of this. Let this go. Kick it to the curb. Kick it in the butt. Let it go. Now, you know, my friend, that I'm not saying that because I understand it to be easy. I'm saying that because I understand the place that you are from my personal experience with it. We get to a point when things seem like they're going so good. And then all of a sudden, one thing goes, and then the second thing goes, and the third thing goes, and we slide so far backwards, whether we literally feel like we're sliding backwards or in our head, we're sliding backwards because, let's face it, friends, old habits die hard. And if that's the space that we reside in more often than not, that is like where we go. And immediately we're in panic mode all over again. And then what happens? We forget everything that's happening and go right to the very worst thing that we could possibly think might happen. Right? So what's anxiety based on? Anxiety is based on fear. People that don't have anxiety don't understand that fear is real. And when I say it's real, I mean you feel like you're going to die. You literally feel scared and frightened. Imagine the worst possible thing happening to you. That's that kind of feeling that we have if you are diagnosed with anxiety. And it's very difficult to put that into words and to try to explain that to other people. No matter how supportive they are, it's very difficult. It's hard to understand it yourself, never mind explain it to someone else. When you have anxiety that's based on fear, you have a tendency to either bury your head in the sand or try to face it. When you face it, sometimes that's a disaster, right? And then what happens? You get scared all over again. So now you're afraid of it and you're afraid to go forward, right? To try it again, to push your limits, to push the boundaries, right? And so maybe you start to procrastinate. Maybe you distract yourself. Avoiding it actually makes the anxiety even bigger and even worse. And so the whole point of me saying this is this. I am Kristen's friend on Facebook, and I hear her, well, I don't hear her, but I read her posts, and I hear her saying in her post, I did this and I did that and I did this and I do that. And I hear, I read, I see, I feel, look at her go. Oh my God, what an inspiration she is. She's doing this and she's ticking that off her box and she's trying that. Go, Kristen, go, Kristen. And all I see is Kristen saying, I feel like you keep going like this, and I want you to go like, that. Like, I want you to puff your chest out and just be like, yes, look at me. Be open to it. Like, open up to the change. Right? Like, open yourself up. Imagine yourself as a flower. You're about to do something that you've never done before, or maybe had a negative experience the last time you tried it. And this particular moment, you're going to be like, you know what? I don't care what happens, but I'm here. I've got my foot out the door and I'm ready to try it. I'm ready to take it on no matter what happens. That's as far as your expectations should go, because anything more than that, there is the potential to self-sabotage yourself. Right? And when you do that, when you put your foot outside the door and it is successful, guess what? Guess what, my friends? That is what makes it positive. That is the outcome right there, the positive thoughts, right? The angels are advising you to focus on solutions instead of problems. Now, I'm not saying that you are, sort of creating problems for yourself, or that you're even living in the outcome. That's not what I'm saying. But all of us, every single human being on the planet, has a tendency to pick out the bad, pick out the negative, instead of focusing on the positive. And we have to be conscious when we're doing that. That's what new moons are all about, setting intentions. When you set intentions, you don't say, well, I'm fat, I need to lose 10 pounds. That's not going to go. It's not going to work. It is not going to work. But if you say, I want to feel better about myself, so I'm going to try to eat more healthy, well, that's a whole lot of positive. And it certainly sounds a lot more achievable than you're fat, you need to lose 10 pounds. Do you know what I mean? So help yourself in terms of changing that around, and be very conscious of the positivity that you're injecting into things, because that's what's going to make the change. That's what's going to make the change successful. It's going to make you, inspire you to want to make the change, to continue to force the change, right? That's what I got for you, Kristen. And I want you to know that I'm incredibly proud of you. I know that you are going places. I think that you are a force to be reckoned with. Just like Aunna said, you just need to see what we all see. Yep. And I'm not saying that you don't. I'm not saying that you don't all the time, but I know there's times when you don't. Absolutely, Mika. I got you. Okay. JR, I got it from you. Or got your question. Sorry. I'm like, you're welcome, love. I think your low self-esteem is what causes your anxiety. I'm not saying that you don't have it or you do have it. I'm saying that your low self-esteem is so low that it brings in the negativity and then causes you to be anxious about the situations and things around you, makes you second guess yourself, and that's what implements the self-sabotage. And I mean, it's like a whole cycle, right? And you have to say this. And I'm just saying, like, sorry, friends that are waiting for the readings. I digress for a moment. I'm lighting a cigarette. I'm getting on my soapbox. I haven't even started yet. I'm kidding. Every night that I turn this camera on, I have to believe that what I'm showing up to do today is okay. I have to believe that what I'm going to say what I'm going to read, you know, how I'm going to be, how I'm going to feel, that it's got to be good enough. Right? And that right there, what you just said, Kristen, this has been the happiest I've ever been, but I still need another evolution. Sometimes when we are not used to things going well for ourselves, and we recognize how well things are going, we actually get frightened or anxious because things are going so well that we feel and fear the inevitable other shoe dropping, right? We start to go, oh, you know what? Things have been going too good for too long. Something's about to happen. What is that? You're setting yourself up to fail. So
okay, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kristen Louise said, this has been the happiest I've ever been, but I still need another evolution.
Right.
Have you taken the time to just savor the happiness before worrying about another evolution?
No, that's what I was just saying. That's you get yourself on that wheel, that the happiness feels so foreign to you. Okay.
But that's what I'm trying to get at.
No, I know, and that's where I'm going. When I was talking,
enjoy.
Do you remember when I was talking last week, when I said that I did my journal entry, and I said that what matters to my heart? What matters to my heart is peace and contentment. And while I was writing it, I was like, oh shit, Kelly, maybe you should have shown up about 3 weeks ago, because girlfriend, you've already achieved it. But I'm so busy wishing and wanting, and yes, I have it, Michelle. I'm so busy wishing and wanting it that I never stopped to recognize that I already got it, because it has been my way of doing things for so long that I never stopped to check in with myself to realize, oh my God, I've already done that. You know what I mean? Because it becomes part of your program. So if your program is to be fearful when things get too good because you think something's going to obviously go bad. You know, those people who think the worst, and then anything that happens other than like horrific is great. It's kind of like along those lines, that you set yourself up that if it's too good, something's got to go wrong. You know what I mean? It's that kind of vibe. And all that is changing that into positive thinking in terms of, oh my God, you know what? This is the third day in a row, the third hour in a row, the third month, the third year that I have just felt really good. I am so blessed and I am so grateful. Period. Full stop. And don't take the sentence any further. Yep. Right? Just get all in the positive. And I'm not saying don't get crazy about it. Don't think about it. I'm not saying be oblivious to it. I'm saying you have to treat it for what it is. And what it is checking in with yourself and believing in the journey that you're on, not just where you're going, right? All right. I feel like
both of us tonight have gone on.
I want to say this. I do want to say this, Kristen. That wasn't a lecture to you, even though it was because of your reading. Obviously, it was meant to come out, and so I thank you for asking the question, and those cards. Thank you, Spirit, for coming out, because that then, and a lot of people were seeming to resonate with that. So it was needed to be heard and needed to be asked. So, all right. We're on to Lise. I love a new moon reading. We will try to speed this up, Lise.
We will try.
Come back on Tuesday and Banana and Kelly will be here.
You never know. Come back 2 weeks from now, and we might still be here.
We'll be like when Tom Hanks played in that movie Castaway. You can who's going to be Wilson? That's my question.
One of the animals.
Oh, I thought it was.
We've got enough animals between us.
No, I figured I'd be Wilson. Because my hair won't look good by Tuesday, friends. I'm just saying. Go ahead, my friend, if you're ready.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry.
What?
All I can hear, my poor husband. I'm laughing and I shouldn't laugh, but all I can hear there is my husband out there going, Rosie, no, Rosie, no, no, Rosie, no, Rosie. Oh, I hope she's not doing puppy pad confetti because it's a bad scene, friends. Sorry.
It's all good. Your new moon intention should be to tap in to your inner destroyer. There's something going on around you or with you that you need to put to an end. You have the strength, you have the fortitude, and you have the intellect to put an end, a once and for all final end to the situation. The best way to incorporate the inner destroyer is to tap into your love. When we do things in anger, when we do things in spur of the moment, when we do things as a reaction rather than an action, we have a tendency to trip over our own steps, to allow ourselves to be misunderstood. But if you remember to lead with your heart rather than excessive emotions, when you finally say, I'm done, I deserve better than this, or I no longer wish to deal with this situation, and you do it out of love of self, you'll realize that you'll finally be able to sleep better. You'll be more calm. You'll find balance. And I don't know why this thought just popped into my head with the sleep card, but other than if you look at him, he's like, be quiet. It's
I have one of those guys too. No, I do. I have, look. Like kind of a like a
if you follow your heart, you can put an end to the secrets and the lies that are being told around you. You will give yourself clarity and freedom from the chaos and the drama. And in the end, with that freedom, you'll get a good night's sleep because you're no longer having to deal with any form of self-guilt, self-shame, oh God, the word was right there. Now it's gone. The reluctance to be true to you because you're so busy. It's almost like, remember back in high school or even middle school, for some people it started as early as middle school, you had your own little clique where you all knew each other's secrets to the point where you could literally destroy any one of them at any given time if you ever got mad enough because you knew all of their deep, dark secrets. Well, that's the way I feel like it's going on. You know a lot of deep, dark secrets and you don't like knowing them. You don't like being privy to this information because it's making you feel guilty about how it's affecting other people. So it's like you need to put an end to that portion of the relationship so that you can be more true to yourself, so that you can love yourself more because you're not feeling conflicted within. And once that conflict, that inner conflict is gone, you find your balance easier. You find the ability to sleep restfully easier. And it just seems like everything falls in their appropriate place. Once you put up that boundary and say, okay, I no longer wish to participate with this aspect. We can still be friends, or we can still be lovers, or whatever the situation is, but put up the boundary on that aspect of the situation. Okay, sorry.
Don't be sorry. All right, there's a whole lot of questions going on in the chat. So, I just want to say that Rose, we were talking about my dog, whose name is Rose. JR said, how old is Rose? And Rose is like, what? Elise said that she was after Ivana. I just star them as I see them, Elise, so they come out in the order in which they come out. Hopefully I haven't skipped anybody. If I have, I'm sorry. And sorry, I'm scrolling up and down here in the chat because I'm looking for something. We got a little sidetracked.
Saying that you already read her before, that you read her after Ivana.
Oh, maybe. Well, there you go.
Obviously a message that you needed to hear if she didn't pop you off.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounded weird.
Yeah.
She didn't pop you off. If she didn't take you off the list, you obviously needed to hear a second message.
Yeah. I don't have sorry, I'm still scrolling. I'm looking. So Frida said, sorry to ask, am I on the list? I can put you on the list, Frida. I don't know. I just went up in the chat and I didn't see it. So I've got you there now. Okay. So Lise, this, I don't know how that happened, but this is what I've got for you, love. So here we go. We start out with the surrender to the divine. Okay. And the surrender to the divine is underneath your, what should your new moon intentions be? Now, based on the other cards that I have, I don't think that this means necessarily surrendering to spirit in terms of, that you're questioning a connection. I think that this is more like most benevolent outcome kind of surrender to the divine, if you get what I'm saying. I'm not sure if what Aunna is saying, because I'm kind of picking up on that. You kept saying end, and I got the death card here, right?
Yeah.
Implying an ending, like something finishing, something that's like kind of like heavy and lingering, right? So I'm not sure if you've been dealing with something, if you've been trying to sort through something, if you've been going through a situation or a cycle. So I pulled another card just to see what I got, and I got anger. And so I want to say that I think that this new moon intention is an opportunity for you to sort of put out into the universe that you are releasing the burden and sort of ready to accept the most benevolent outcome, right? In other words, I know how I feel, but I'm not going to worry about it anymore because it's not a situation I can control, nor do I want to carry that burden anymore. So I'm going to leave it up to the universe. Kind of idea, right?
That actually makes a lot of sense with the cards that I pulled.
Well, every once in a while, friend, I do show up. Thank you. Yes, Eleanor, I have you, love. So how can you best incorporate this intention into your life? So that's where the death and the anger card comes in. Okay. Let it go. Get rid of it. Friends, we know this. And I mean no disrespect to anyone when I say this. You all know how I feel about the word change, how I feel about the word mistake. You all know how I feel about when someone says, well, you just have to be positive and everything's going to miraculously, like, woof, it's going to be like all sunshine and puppy dogs. You have to be ready to accept that you have the power to control the outcome, right? And until you're ready to get that to that point, you have to take the journey. And the journey is challenging and it's hard. And that's why we're here, right? That's why we're here trying to like heal each other and help each other and inspire and support each other. And so the point that I'm trying to make is what is the outcome here? Like, how do you incorporate this? By reclaiming your power back and saying, you know what? Things are going to change. I am going to look after me, and everything else can look after itself, right?
Yep.
I come first.
Focus on that love.
Right? Let go of the anger, let go of the negativity, let go of the situation, let go of the burden, release it, reclaim your power back. That kind of vibe, right? Now, this is lovely because this sort of sums up what I always say in terms of, you know, that whole self-sabotage thing that we do to ourselves. So the outcome or the lesson for this new moon is the wisdom. Okay? The message says the angel of wisdom is granting you insight from the higher realms. In other words, letting you know that you are protected, Spirit's got you back, that you can release your stuff to the universe and know that the most benevolent outcome is going to happen, right? That you are going to be just fine. No matter what happens, you're going to be okay. And I know that that sounds trite, but we have to believe that, you know? Because why would you want to believe anything else? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like, I don't mean to sound like I'm being wishy-washy. That's how I operate because I have to. Because if I don't feel that, if I don't think that,
we can allow our minds to take us down some really deep, dark holes.
Absolutely. And so, you know, Lise, I want you to have that moment that I had in a way where I went out my front porch and I just sat there underneath the stars and all of a sudden I just started crying and said, oh my God. Like it was like that's what I want for you. But you got to be ready for it. And until you're ready for it, you have to keep putting in the work. And so the point that I'm trying to make is to feel like you are in control of it. Keep telling yourself that you are strong, that you are capable, that you are phenomenal, and that you hold the power within you to do whatever it is that you want to do or whatever you want to achieve, if that makes sense. All right. So we have lots of readings left to go. We're taking our time. We're not in a rush. I appreciate everyone being here and saying hi and saying all the lovely things that they're saying. If you do have to go, that's okay. We will do all the readings that are on the list. And Miss Sutafi is up next asking for a full moon reading. I just wanted to say that. Hi, Catherine, by the way. JR is saying, pray for PD Connects and Maya Black Cat Tarot. They are both sick. There's so many people sick. Lots of prayers out to everybody. Of course, we hope that they get better soon, and I hope that it's nothing serious. Oh, thank you, Jansfree. That's lovely. I love hearing that. Because that's really the whole point. I find that sometimes these kinds of readings can be so informative for so many people, not just the person that's getting it. So Lisa says yes.
Especially when we're urged to go on our individual soapboxes. It's like, you know, normally my readings are like 3 minutes, kind of bland. But today, I don't know what's up today.
Yeah. So Lisa says, yes, letting go of long-time deep emotions, sobbing when hearing a song. Now listen to it on purpose to release, slowly enlightening, self-love again. Wow, not trite either. Thank you both. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that, because it means that it's, oh, and Anna's gone. Absolutely, Michelle, we can do that, love. Not a problem. Thank you. All right. Oh, thanks, Kelly. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Hope to see you again in the chat. These don't normally go this long, but there you have it, friends. Hopefully Anna comes back. If not, I'm on my own. Oh, and there she is. Well, if you wanted to make a point, you could have just said so. No. Fine, I'm leaving. No.
Okay. And
right.
Because it did that quick little power thing, I no longer have the list. So, anyway, your first card, darling.
I can send it to you.
Is you need to focus on love. Yeah, you need to focus on love. And I'm feeling this is more about love of yourself, a love and respect of yourself. Because they're telling you to incorporate this love by tapping into the mysteries of life. It's almost like there are some things that you are interested in doing, but you're not sure if you would be any good at it. You're not sure if it will resonate with your soul path. But the only way you're going to find out is by taking the step and investigating in trying something totally different. Even if you don't know the reasoning behind it, the purpose behind it, the final end goal, it's something that sparks your interest. Take some time to investigate. And the reason for that is because if you do that, you will find a new growth that you never expected. There's something in those little inklings, those little desires that pop into your head, and you may be saying, "Oh, that's just a waste of money," or "That's just a waste of time," or "I would never be any good at that." We all have a tendency, that little voice in our head that talks us out of trying something new. But you try that something new, and you're going to blossom in an unexpected way that is basically going to make you feel more full, more, that's not the word. It's almost the word, not quite the word. More satisfied with the life that you're living. It's almost a sense of love yourself enough to accept that what if statements are unworthy of you. To steer forward, go forward, and you will grow. You will learn more. Not just about life in general, but more specifically about yourself, about your interests, about your passions that allow you to shine more authentically in your life. Yeah. That's the one.
Okay. Sue, this is what I got for you. So, what your new moon intention should be. We have the 9 of air. This is sleepless nights. This is worry, negativity. So if you're feeling stressed, if something's keeping you up, if something is overwhelming you, or if you are allowing just life in general to affect you in a way that it is making you like worry or anxious or negative. Your new moon intention should be something to try to correct that or to sort of change that, right? How can you best incorporate this intention into your life? So I love the way spirit works. It's the best. So this is the card I held up before when Aunna got the love card, and this is comfort. So that, to me, that's either self-care, some self-soothing, meaning like don't beat yourself up, don't self-sabotage yourself, understand and try to work through why you may be reacting to the situation or situations, the things in the way that you are, rather than just saying, for example, like, oh, come on, snap out of it kind of idea. And I'm not saying that that's what you're saying, it's just words, right? If you're reacting a certain way, there's a reason why you're reacting, and we have to acknowledge how we feel about things in order to be able to understand them and to work through them, and then to get on the other side of them, to learn from them, right? And the last card that I got, which is the outcome or lesson from this phase, is assessing the situation. Now I'm going to say it again, and Anna's on the screen and not in the chat, so she can't do it for me. But once again, I'm going to mention Susan Lynn, psychic medium, did this wonderful exercise like a year and a bit ago called the damn thing. If you're not familiar, so the damn thing is, what is it that I'm worried about? So you write it down. And then you keep breaking it down step by step by step by step by step till you get to the bottom. When you really what you're doing is you're trying to define what it is about the situation that's actually got you, upset or stressed or whatever, in a way that makes it understandable and makes it appear to you now, when you look at it this way, like, oh, well, I can do that. That's not that bad. You know what I mean? And it's not to fool yourself, but sometimes when you hear something, like imagine someone said, weather alert, world's coming to an end on Thursday. You're like, oh my God. And then you check the weather alert, and that's not what it says at all. Do you know what I mean? Because we allow ourselves to get caught up in things. And so my point is, this assessing of the situation is, again, checking in with yourself and really taking stock of whatever the situation is that's causing you to stress. Maybe it's a pattern. Maybe it's a person, like a toxic relationship, right? Maybe you have some neighbor who's constantly banging on your door at 11 o'clock at night, keeping you from getting your full 8 hours of sleep. It can be something simple like that. Maybe it's a coworker, that kind of thing. So assess the situation is the outcome, and allow yourself to free yourself from feeling like you have to sort of carry that burden, is what I want to say. All right. I almost hit end broadcast. Don't hit that button. Honestly. Okay. Hypnocity is up next, and she says, I'd love a message from spirit or ancestors or guides. We're doing new moon readings, so hopefully we can get something from that. So, Rose, what is going? I see. I have your question in the chat, Rose, but I don't know what's going on. Something about your sister or your friend or something.
No, her best friend is undergoing chemo,
right?
And the original question was whether or not she should go. But in the little bits that I've read, something about sister one is trying to get sister two to go and spend time with the one that's in the hospital. She's really stressed out right now, is the basic. She's really worried about her friend.
Whoops. You gotta love it when all the cards fall out with one right side up. It's like, pick me, pick me, pick me.
Okay. Hypnicity, I have no idea what is going on in your life right now. But this actually sounds like a plan I want to take. Your new moon intention should be all about discovery. Okay? And the reason I say this is a plan I want to follow is because in order to incorporate this discovery, you're being encouraged to travel. And the whole reason you're being encouraged to travel is because it will increase your confidence. It's like, can I take this trip? Can I explore new places? Can I? It was like, as they fell out, it was like my soul was saying, okay, I want to take this journey instead. So keep an eye out. You never know. You might get some unexpected invitation. You may be heading off to some kind of conference or class or whatever. Pay attention, because you're going to learn something in that is going to increase your confidence in yourself. Okay.
I love it. All right, Hypnicity. First card up, Four of Earth. So what should your new moon intention be? And Four of Earth, or the Four of Pentacles, is about control, right? It's about moderation. It's about either being too frugal or too extravagant, and trying to like navigate that tricky line. Like, oh, it's okay if I buy that new sweater, and then you buy the new sweater and you're like, oh my God, I don't have enough for the cable bill. Why do I keep doing this to myself? It's that kind of energy, right? So your intention is to get on top of that. Now, when I say that Pentacles are about money, it's also about your stability. It's about your security. It can sometimes be about your health as well. So it's just being more present and being more mindful about your true situation, right? Not fooling yourself into thinking that you have an abundance. Like, oh, well, Bob said he was going to send me that check last Tuesday, so it's okay that I am overdrawn. Don't put yourself in that position. That's kind of the vibe of that card, right? How can you best incorporate this intention into your life? Adjustments are required. So I know you're asking yourself, well, how, Kelly? Just tell me how. So the outcome or the lesson for this new moon phase is surrender. And when I saw that, I literally thought to myself, so I don't know. It's either like stuck in an old pattern where you have not caught up to your growth, or your like, you were here and you were doing this, right? And that was working for you because you were here. But now you're up here somewhere, but you're still doing this. And so this hasn't caught up to this. And there's like a disconnect, and you have to let go of the fact that you're not this anymore. You're up here, and adjust accordingly. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Look at Anna's face. You're like, what?
No, it makes sense to me, because it was, as you were talking, I was literally envisioning that replay loop that we have a tendency.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's like, but you're not replaying that anymore. You've gained a step, and you forgot to jump up.
Exactly. So
a new loop.
Yeah. So again, I reiterate, because this seems to be a theme for like the last 3 weeks here at Dozen Cats. Take a moment and just check in with yourself and acknowledge, if you've made progress or success or an achievement in a certain area, and then make adjustments accordingly to the overall journey or the overall plan. And then things might start to flow a little easier. And then that allows you to move forward feeling like you actually were successful, right? And that there's room for a new thing to come in that you can want to conquer or that you want to accomplish. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to thinking, oh gosh, like I still can't do this. I still can't get this. You know what I mean? I feel like that's where, like, you're sort of having a tug of war, like, there, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Even in that, oh, I still can't do this. You've learned something. You learned that you can't do this way.
Yes.
So you,
what Aunna said,
you change the direction of your focus to a different pathway, to that little shortcut along the side of the road. You may understand or get clarity in that little pathway, because it's not the usual trek that you follow. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, yeah. My sister just sent me a text. I'm just... All right, so Rose Blue is up next. Let's still do it in the same format and see if we can give her some assistance with this question that she's asking.
I'm just going to use different cards, that's all. It's not a regular oracle. Okay. I used my Kipper deck.
Mm-hmm.
So, according to the moon intentions, what it should be, came up with the courthouse. But when I saw the courthouse, I was actually focused on the building itself. When you tie it in with the question, I'm getting the hospital. The information, based on the information that you have right now, your intentions should be focused on your friend. You have to realize that this is going to cost you money. And when I say, well, there's two aspects to this poverty card that I'm feeling. One is the fact that going 5 hours away, you love your friend so much, you're going to do everything within your power to be by her side, to be a support system for her. But that's going to cost you money, hotel rooms, food, all that little stuff. But at the same time, as a equal but opposite situation, it's going to cause you heartache. And I'm not saying, when I say it's going to cause you heartache, I'm not talking about the actual outcome of what's going on with your friend. I'm talking more about you are so protective of this person that you're going to take every tiny little thing that comes up as a slight against her, and you're going to become very defensive of her.
Can I just show you what I look?
Yeah.
That's your second card, right?
Yeah.
And that's my second card too.
So
I feel exactly what you're feeling.
It's you have to accept all potential aspects. I'm not saying that it will definitely happen this way. I'm saying there's the potential for you to feel like the outsider trying to protect her cub. However, the outcome of your question is a journey. So I would say, yeah, it probably would be wise if you can find the way to get there, the financials, to keep yourself in a comfortable, healthy situation. Then yes, I personally would suggest going, especially if you don't have to worry about things like losing your job, because that could also be part of the poverty issue. I don't know if you have one of those jobs that, if you have a job, whether or not that job is flexible enough for you to take time off to go be with your friend that needs you. Okay. Those are all little aspects that you're going to have to deliberate before making your final decision. But I do see it as a likely outcome that you will be going.
Rose, we start out with what should your new moon intention be based on the question, right? The new moon intention should be, we've got the World card. The World card is about achievement. It's about celebration. It's about completion of a cycle. You wanting to be of service to your friend. You wanting to be there for your friend because you love her or him, whatever the case may be, that you want, to carry the burden for them. You want to take their pain away. You want to show that you love them. Sometimes when we hold people so close to our heart, sometimes we have a tendency to not sort of think proactively, but more reactively, especially in a situation such as this, right? Your friend is sick and she calls you and she says, I need your help. Well, of course you want to go. Of course, you don't want to sit there and ask, should I, shouldn't I? Is this okay? Can I afford it? What about Fred? What about Peter? You know what I mean? You don't want to do any of that stuff. You just want to get there as fast as you can.
Yeah.
So how can you best incorporate this intention into your life? So again, Anna got the poverty card. I've got, this is from my own Oracle deck, right? We've got isolation. We've got sadness, loneliness, taking a break, going within. I feel like you think, and you know I love you, Rose, but you literally just wrote this in the chat, that if you don't go, you're going to be very upset with yourself, and you're going to have a lot of regrets because you didn't make it there for your brother. Bear with me. The outcome or the lesson of this new full moon is to release your blocks. I agree with what Aunna said in terms of her family may not understand or appreciate, and I'm not saying that they will or that they won't, but they might not get where you're coming from, right? So I want you, and I'm sure that this is what Aunna meant, to understand that you could be facing that when you go there, in addition to being with your friend who's very ill. That's going to be very hard on you, especially given what you just went through. So as long as you understand that that's what you're putting yourself into, that's the position that you're putting yourself into. So what can you do? You can protect yourself. You can put up boundaries. You can phone the sisters and say, listen, I want to come and visit. Maybe we could do shifts or something like that. Like I want to help you guys, help her, or you know what I mean? Like try to make it easy on yourself as you navigate it so that you don't go there and feel any kind of burden or any kind of sadness other than the situation that you're faced with, right? You want to go there and be positive and inject as much love and hope into your friend and the situation as you can. You don't want to walk away from that feeling any less than how grateful you are that you got to spend that time with her, as opposed to, oh, I can't believe that I went all the way there and I spent my last, $40 and, Joe Blow was rude to me or whatever, you know what I mean? Like because that's only going to add to the burden of whatever the experience is going to be.
Yeah.
So just make sure that you understand what you're getting yourself into, right? Is all I'm going to say. So I wish you the best of luck, and I'm very sorry to hear that your friend is so ill. We send her our love and many blessings to hang in there. It doesn't sound like she's well. And that makes me very sad. Janet, clarity, mirth, and purple. Love that name. Anything that you pick up on my doggy soulmate Louie. Doesn't seem himself lately. Love you.
Okay, this is confusing me.
Gotta love it when that happens.
Well, I'm not sure which energy I'm picking up on, Janet or Louis. And I want to say it's Louis because I was trying to focus on him, but he passed over. So the first card I got, what his new moon intention would be, came up with sudden wealth. So to me, he's found something on the other side that he finds just as enjoyable as he did spending time with you. And it has him distracted. However, how to best incorporate your intentions, we're still talking about him. came up message. He's still sending you messages, but because his vibration has changed, you're not recognizing it.
Is Louis still
for
here?
What it is.
Sorry, is Louis still here?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
If he is, great, and he might have a girlfriend. But if he's not, he still might have a girlfriend. Just saying.
Louis is alive. Okay.
Okay. Well, then you might want to check out the girls in the neighborhood. Because he's feeling rich all of a sudden.
He's out there strutting his stuff.
Yeah.
It is that season, friends. It's coming into that season.
Wait a minute. Wait. Time out. He's still alive. And he's suddenly feeling rich. And he's dealing with a message with an official person. Don't be surprised if there are puppies involved. Just saying. Don't be surprised if his shift and whatnot is because he has his eyes on a female in the neighborhood. And if he gets free and gets a hold of her, there may be, somebody knocking on the door saying, you need to help me with the vet bills because daddy needs to take his responsibilities. I have had a conversation like that. Just saying.
It's not funny to me, but it's kind of funny the way that you said it. I can only imagine. That's like an episode of Roseanne or something, right?
Yes. Now, once finding out that he was still on Earth, the cards made way more sense.
So this is what I've got, Janet. So in terms of what should your new moon intention be in order, and coming from Louis, okay? So I've got the cards, and I'm taking this cards as this is Louis' message to you. Okay. So what should your new moon intention be? Your new moon intention should be happiness. That's pretty self-explanatory. How can you best incorporate this intention into your life? Flow, balance, being more buoyant. You know what I mean? Not being so stressed, not getting so stuck. Allowing yourself the space and the patience to navigate. Being a little kinder to yourself, all those kinds of things help you to achieve balance. So the outcome or the lesson for this new full moon, we have let your fears dissolve. And so that first bit that you were picking up on, Anna, when you were saying that Louis is sort of picking up on her stress, I feel like if you're stressed lately, Janet, about something, that the dog is sort of picking up on that and is trying to show you that it's not him who's not himself.
It's you.
You're not yourself, but that's the way the dog shows you that you're not yourself by like immediately, that, right? Any of us that are pet owners, that if if you're feeling off, the dogs and the cats are right there. They're like wanting to make sure you're okay. They're like sniffing you. They're cuddling with you. They're paying too much attention to you. Yeah. So I think that he's trying to, in his own way, say like, come on, like, let's go play. Let's go for a walk. Like, wiggling his tail kind of idea. You know what I mean? I realize that's easier said than done. So a long while ago, I did a what do you call it? A visualization called Unexpected Joy, talking about the petting of an animal. And I'll try to find it. I don't remember where I put it on the channel, but it's about taking a moment, an unexpected moment where you're sitting down in the chair and the dog comes to you and jumps up on your lap or puts their head on your knee or something like that. and you just start to pet the animal, and you allow yourself to get carried away by the texture and sort of like the feel of it and the warmth of the head laying on your knee, that kind of thing, and allow yourself to just feel the joy that the animal has being in that position. Allow yourself to feel the love that the animal is feeling from you, right? Understanding that the animal is so grateful for your unconditional love and all of the things that you have done for them to give them the very best possible life, right? And then you come to the conclusion, sort of like in like an aha moment kind of idea, when you realize that it goes both ways. Exactly what you were trying to do for this beautiful animal is exactly what this beautiful animal did for you. Right in that moment, that animal took you from up here to down here and just made you just be very calm and very joyful and open your heart and allowed you to remember your blessings and what you're grateful for. Now, I know that sounds a little much, but that was the gist of the exercise. I like to sort of think of that as like, talking myself off of a ledge, right? Yeah. Like if I'm really, really stressed, I just go pet my cats and just close my eyes and just allow myself to be carried away by how that feels and all of the things that come with that, the heat and the purr and all of that then brings me to calm, and then the animals are calm and I'm calm. So I hope that resonates, my friend.
Really.
All right, and we have Miss Ellen R.
And she's saying enough.
Oh, Amethyst Star. Oh, wow. Thank you, Janet. Okay, Ellen R. A new moon reading, please. If you need a focus, can you pick up on any dietary hints? I seem to have some food sensitivities. Thank you. My sensitivity to food is that I like it. That's what my sensitivity. Don't beat yourself up. Oh my gosh.
Girl, all right. Stop. No, go to the bed.
Listen, she's like, Kelly, you have talked enough tonight. I want my mama back.
Yes. Arya. Please.
Actually, maybe what she was trying to do is to say, yes, what Kelly said about pet your cats. Look at me, Mom. I'm right here.
I've been petting her for like the last 5 minutes. Literally, no sooner did I get done with my part of the reading, she was all up in the middle of the desk, and I've been loving on her the entire time.
Friends, what you may or may not know is when Anna and I talk, that cat's like looks at me like, oh my God, here we go again, and literally jumps right in front of the screen like, nope, she's mine. I'm not sharing her. All right, Miss Ellen.
Okay, Miss Ellen R. Okay.
I should get Mark to bring Rosie. It'll stop. Did you all meet Rosie? Were you here the other day when I had Allie and Nancy, Jean, and Linda G here? Did y'all meet Rosie? Rosie is my new puppy dog. She's adorable. No, you haven't, Farida. We're just like super, super long, but I promise we will do your reading. So if you do have to go, it's totally okay. But we will do your reading, and so you can if you have to go, you can always check back. It'll be past this point in the
replay.
Go ahead, love.
After the 1 hour and 53 minutes. Okay, Eleanor, you're being called on to liberate yourself. I don't know what your normal dietary routine is and whether or not it is actually guided by you or somebody else. Mm-hmm. And the reason I say that is because in the background, there are people hidden in the flowers watching her every move because she's like, no, I'm done. and she's walking away from them all. Okay.
I'm vibing that too.
You need, when it comes to your dietary sensitivities, you need to pay attention to what your body's telling you, not what random Joe Blow is telling you is best for you. Okay. Your body will always tell you what's best for you. Sometimes that's as simple as, oh, it smells funny. Sometimes it's as complicated as, oh crap, I ate that and now my stomach is just killing me. Pay attention to what you are eating. Even if that means you need to start doing a food diary where you write down what you've had for breakfast, and if you feel some sort of way after breakfast, write down the effects of that. That way it gives you something to look back on to see what you can narrow down in being what you may be developing an allergy to. And the reason that comes so clearly is because what you need to incorporate for this intention is alchemy. There's nothing more alchemical than how your body breaks down what you ingest. So you need to be aware of those things. At the same time, you need to be aware of any medical conditions that you may have. I'm learning, here I am in my 50s, and I'm learning now that allergies that I've had since I was 15, 20, can actually morph into different allergies. There's, I think it's hay fever. If you developed hay fever as a child, after 20 to 30 years, your body naturally becomes allergic to certain things like almonds and peanuts, certain fruits and vegetables, because after all those years of dealing with this allergy, it starts to interpret other types of similar substances as if it was what caused the hay fever to begin with. So you've got to pay attention to these things. I mean, I have a girlfriend who literally in the last year has become allergic to tomatoes, watermelons, and nuts, all because she's been dealing with hay fever since she was a child.
Wow.
But if you set yourself free from other people's judgments and commentary, and you pay attention to what you are ingesting and how your body is reacting to it, you will be able to get your body aligned better. Because this is the good juju card. You can't have good juju if you're not in alignment. Okay? So just focus on what you are eating and how you are responding. On those days that you have a weird reaction or a bad reaction, if you're writing it down, you'll be able to see what those days had in common and be able to pull that out, those things out of your diet, and slowly test them one by one to see which one it is that is actually causing you issues. Okay, dear.
Sorry.
It's all good.
I'm sending my husband a text.
You need pop?
I need a puppy.
Pop, pup. Not much difference.
Don't tell her. Don't tell the puppy that.
Thank you, Gypsy.
Okay. Yes, I do have you, Catherine. Hi, Mama Bear. Believe it or not, we've been on for 2 hours and we still have 10 questions to go. So.
Oh my God. Okay.
I know.
I'm sorry.
So, Eleanor, this is what we start with, love. we have the 9 of fire. So it's interesting to me that Anna's card had flowers in the background, and this card has flowers all wrapped around the wands, right? The 9 of wands, or the 9 of fire, is about, protecting yourself. It's about, like, think of it this way. You're climbing the mountain. You can see it. You want to stake your claim in the top, and it's right there, but you're exhausted. You've been working so hard climbing up the mountain that when you get to that point, you almost feel like you need to sit down and take a break, and you're willing yourself to get back up, right? So you're trying to protect yourself and soothe yourself and tell yourself, like, it's okay, I can do it. It's like the little engine that could, that whole kind of energy. So what is the new moon intention that you should be sort of focusing on? And that is, in terms of your question, listening to your body and protecting it. Like Anna said, very good suggestion of keeping a dietary sort of journal. Every day, what did you eat? Then how did you feel? Right? Because when you go to the doctors to ask why you're still feeling that way, I thought you were going to bring the dog. Oh, okay. Okay. That you were going to. Well, hello. I have someone for you all to meet.
So you got a pop and a pup.
I got a pop. Come here, sweetheart. Come here, Rosie. Keep in mind, she doesn't really know her name yet.
Rosie.
Hey. Get out of the kitty cat's food, you crazy dog. Come here.
I know you are used to only me whistling for you, but that's okay. You will survive.
So what I mean by that, Ellen, is to listen to your body and to protect your body by keeping a running sort of journal. If you know that something bothers you, don't do it, right? Hi, sweetheart. Okay, come and meet everybody. Oh my gosh, you little monster. Here you go. Everybody say hi to Rosie.
Hey, cutie.
So happy to be here, she yawned. Hi, baby. Oh, what happened? So this is my little fur ball. People don't stick your tongue out. It's rude. It's rude. Can I have kisses? Nope.
No kisses.
No kisses. So this is Rose. We call her Rosie. She is a Maltese cross miniature somebody or other. You're a multi-poo. Believe me, you have multi-poos. Yes, you do. But you're so good at it. Hey, listen, she's been here since Monday, and she's only had 2 accidents in the house, friends.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's doing remarkable. She doesn't like the word no. That is personal beef with her. Did Daddy just wake you up? Mark? Yeah. Oh, can you come get her before she tries to jump? Today she had her first bath.
I felt like the world was ending as she shivered for an hour.
Oh my God. So we adopted her from a shelter. It was a tragic situation, but she's hopefully she has accepted us. I was asking her today if she's decided to keep us, and she didn't really answer.
She's still making up her mind.
She's still
not happy with the bath.
Absolutely. And here she goes. She's getting all excited now. So how can you best incorporate this intention into your life, Ellen? So protecting yourself, putting those boundaries around yourself. In other words, keeping track of what you know bothers you. For example, if you eat popcorn and you feel bad, and then, a couple of weeks later you eat popcorn and you feel bad, on the 4th time that you eat popcorn, you're telling yourself, and I know you are because I do it, I'm so going to pay for this, but I love it, so I'm going to have some. You got to protect yourself from that. So be proactive in that department, right? Because if you're proactive in that department by protecting yourself with what goes in, it will bring you more peace, right? You won't be, just imagine You're going to a restaurant. Can I eat this? I don't know. And I'm looking at this and I don't know what this is made out of. Let's ask the waiter. And you know what I mean? Like, it's just, reading the labels and everything. Like, it's very stressful, right? Is this going to bother me? Is this not going to be bothering me? All of that kind of thing. What is the outcome? Step up and lead. So take charge of the situation if you want to change it. And what I mean by that is, if you go to the doctor, for example, and they just try to slough you off and tell you, well, oh, you ate a red thing and you didn't like it, well, then don't eat any more red things. Like, thank you. Be like, take charge of that situation, right? Keep track for yourself. I'm not saying don't get checked out. I just mean stay on top of it for yourself so you know, right? Really quickly, I had an allergic reaction many, many, many years ago. Really, really sensitive skin. I bought a wool sweater and I thought that I was having an allergic reaction from the wool sweater that I bought. And I was itchy, taking Benadryl, doing the whole bit. You know how it goes. And I had a welt on my backside where the sweater was rubbing right at the base of my spine for like 3 weeks. I mean, it was the size of my friggin' head. It was just brutal. Turns out that it wasn't my sweater at all. And the thing is, like, hello, clue in, because I didn't wear the sweater for like 3 weeks, but it would not go away. It was, I had gone to the laundromat to do my laundry and I ran out of laundry detergent and I had to buy some from the little soap dispenser, and it was some weird brand that, some no-name thing that they probably clean pools with. I don't know, that I never used before. And I washed my blankets in that. And that is what was, so every time I went to bed, I was wrapping myself up in that thing again, which was making me more allergic. So just sort of be your own best advocate, I guess is what I want to say.
Eleanor, if you already have allergies, you may want to go online and look at those medical websites that actually focus on allergic reactions. If you read through the entire documentation, it will give you information that most doctors don't pay attention to as to what extended allergy issues can morph into. It's like I said, my girlfriend's been dealing with ragweed allergy since she was a child. And the doctors kept telling her, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. It's all in your head. They did those allergy tests where they poke you with a whole crap ton of needles. And she came up with only 2 allergies. After going to see, after 3 years of dealing with issues and seeing different doctors, it was this last doctor that she saw that was like, wait a minute, you're allergic to this and you're allergic to this. And how long has this been going on? It's like, okay, avoid eating strawberries, tomatoes, watermelon, and anything that contains paprika. Literally anything that contains paprika. And the issues that she's been having with her throat swelling up for no reason, not listening to her. So when she goes to swallow her food, it's actually going into her lungs, have almost all disappeared.
That's awesome. I was going to say that's fabulous and that's amazing all at the same time, and it came out awesome.
Yeah. So if you already have specific allergies that you already know, investigate them online at a reputable medical website. They do go into more detail. And I do know it's annoying having to read every tiny last little thing. But from my personal experience, it's better to be bored out of your mind reading every little last thing than to be left high and dry with questions.
No, you can't go.
I'm the type of person that medication doesn't work on me the way it does on other people. So I always have to read all of the side effects and focus on the least likely side effect, because that's usually the side effects that I have. And then determine with a logical mind, am I willing to risk this to deal with that? You know, you have to be the judge of you and how your body reacts. Absorb the information, educate yourself, and work from there. Okay. What next? What questions next, baby?
Sorry, friends. Mark's Mark's trying to go, and I'm saying,
Put her in the pin.
yeah, no, that doesn't work. And besides that, it's out in the living room. I mean, I know she has a little sleeping crate here behind me, but that if I'm sitting here, she's just going to go berserko. So, anyhow, moving on. Growth is stealing the show. So just be careful, Ellen. Like I'm allergic to eggs, for example, and I can't just not eat eggs. Right? There's a lot of things that have eggs in it, and I have realized over the course of time that it's not so much like I can eat like dry pasta, for example, that is made with eggs, like, you know, back in the factory. It's if someone put a raw egg in a meatloaf and then served me it, that's when I have a problem with it. So
see,
raw
eggs, because I'm allergic to eggs also.
Yeah.
But I have no problem with baked goods so long as there's not more than 2 eggs in whatever it is that I'm making.
Right. So
I just cannot eat them. Like I cannot have deviled eggs. I cannot have scrambled eggs.
So I don't do that. I don't eat eggs or anything that could have eggs in it as a binding agent, like braided pork chops or anything. I don't eat anything that could have eggs in it at a restaurant or anyone's house that I don't know, because I don't know what they did. Right.
Yeah.
But when I'm cooking for myself, then I know what I'm doing. And so that's how I protect myself. Right. So, I mean, because I know that that's a problem for me, and it literally feels like have a zipper on the inside of my skin and I'm zipping myself up. It is not pleasant. And so I just don't eat eggs. Right. That's all. All right. Linda is asking if we have time. Well, really, this is about how much
we ran out of time an hour ago, but that's okay.
Good Lord. Okay. We're going to try and speed this up, you guys. And I'm so sorry, but you know what? I feel like this was meant to happen. So all the messages have been great tonight, and thank you all for hanging out with us. And we really appreciate the support. Please don't forget to check out on Banana Out, and of course, give us a thumbs up. Make sure that you got your bell notification checked off. I'll be back on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time with Richie from Longman Tarot, and on Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern with Lisa Spirit Intuitive, EQ from the Soul Sisters, and Gerald from Tarot Stash, and on Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with Susan Lynn, Psychic Medium. So make sure that you're tuned in.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, Linda, you need to focus your intentions on faith.
Did you say faith or fate?
Faith. You need to believe in yourself. I almost feel like things are not going in the direction that you initially intended. You need to have faith that they're going in the direction that is needed. May not be what you wanted, but it is what you needed. And why I say you needed is because you're focusing on to incorporate this faith. You need to focus on new beginnings. It's almost like you've been walking this path and you feel like you're not getting anywhere. It's like every time you take a step forward, you're walking into a brick wall, and you you slowly pick your way through that brick wall and you walk into another brick wall. But there were certain things that you learned each time. With each brick wall, you learned something new, which is going to allow you to see that side path of the road to take so that the walls are not slowing you down. You've learned enough through every brick wall that you've torn down. You have learned enough to pay attention to that side road so you're not hitting that next wall. Okay. And if you actually take that side road, that new opportunity, you're going to find contentment and fulfillment and a sense of peace that you never truly imagined. You imagined a certain amount of peace, but this contentment and fulfillment will be more satisfying than you could ever imagine. Just maintain your faith. You will get there. Okay, darling.
Okay, so Linda, this is what I got for you, love. So in terms of what should your new moon intention be? We have release your blocks. So basically picking up on what Aunna said in terms of anything that is holding you back, anything that you're still working on, anything that you feel burdened by. And let's face it, we all have something, right? We all have something. It doesn't have to be like a big thing. It can just be a little thing. But if something is getting in your way, something you feel is holding you back, this is the time to do it, right? New moons are all about setting intentions. So how do you incorporate that intention into this new moon? Or sorry, how can you best incorporate, sorry, I'm tired. How can you best incorporate this intention into your life at this new moon? I feel like I've done this reading already, because as soon as I pulled the cards out, I was like, wow. But they're in the opposite order. So surrender to the divine. Okay, so how do you do that? When you feel like you're doing everything that you can, and you feel like you're doing the practice as you should, right? That you have a way of doing things. Sometimes when you repeat the same process over and over and over and over and over again, you feel like you're not making progress, right? And that's when that different perspective comes in. Can someone get that, please? And this is like a bird's eye view. Do you understand what I mean? This is sort of allowing yourself to say, not that it's out of your control. Do we not have any mods in the chat? It's all right. I'll deal with it. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Esther. Okay. Sorry, that threw me off. So what I mean by that is this. You gain a different perspective because you're taking a step back. And when you take that step back, what you're doing is what Aunna was talking about is having that faith, right? Having that trust in yourself, having that faith in yourself, in spirit, in the divine, in your practice, in your beliefs, in your sort of routine. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense what I'm saying? You are sort of taking a moment to sort of recalibrate and then reapply yourself, right? Sort of think of it as like taking a little mini vacation away from your practice and then coming back to it. It's fine, not to worry. The problem was solved. And I appreciate you guys all doing that. Thank you. So the outcome or the lesson for this new moon, beautiful card, growth.
Oh, yeah.
This new moon is a growing opportunity if you allow yourself the space that you need to understand what growth needs to happen, right? If you just sort of go, okay, you know what, I'm open to it. Bear with me, you guys, for 1 second. I'm going to mute myself, and this is why I went to my phone. Okay, I'll be right back, but I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to give you the next person. It's Gypsy JJ. Thank you, Linda, for asking the question. I hope that made sense. And thank you, Janet, for what you said. Appreciate you. I'll be right back, you guys.
Okay.
Sorry, back. I changed it to subscribers only mode, so hopefully that won't happen again. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, we're losing people
Gypsy
by the second here. We literally now have more questions than people, so.
Your new moon intention should be focusing on the sweetness that is surrounding you daily. We do have a tendency as human beings with a lot of responsibilities and a lot of dreams, a lot of thoughts that we're going after to in the process of trying to manifest what we want, that we have a tendency to overlook the sweet, loving, joyful, happy moments in our lives. And you're being reminded to pay attention to those. The best way to incorporate this intention into your life is to tap into your protective nature. I almost feel like there's something that taps into your heart and soul, maybe a niece or a nephew, a sibling, a really good friend, that brings you joy and happiness, that reminds you that there are sweet and loving things, aspects of life, things to strive for, and you're being called on to protect it. Because more of that is needed in the world. And the best way to, the outcome of this, after you protect it, the outcome is surrender. You will have an understanding of what is truly important in your life, in life in general, but most specifically in your life. When you focus on those moments and you fight to protect it, it becomes more encompassing and almost self-propagating. It's almost like, as it shows, circles. You notice the sweetness, you protect the sweetness, you allow more sweetness to manifest, thereby making your life a little bit easier, a little bit happier. Your life becomes a little bit easier, a little bit happier. Then the people that are around you notice these things, and it just self-propagates over time. So focus on that sweetness, because we all need a little bit more in our lives.
Absolutely. Linda, don't worry. It's all good. I dealt with it. Don't worry about it. Okay, Gypsy JJ, this is what I got for you, love. So in terms of what should your new moon intention be? So the card that I pulled is from my own oracle deck, which is self-love. What is that? Me time, right? It's about cleansing, relaxation, taking a moment to stop and smell the flowers, like appreciating you, right? That's the intention that you should be setting on this new moon. How do you incorporate that into your life? Now, this card says having faith in your dreams, but this to me is like about believing in yourself, believing that you deserve it, believe that you deserve to have your dreams come true. I don't often like to reword my cards, but that's what I feel, right? Things don't have to be the way that they seem all the time. Just because it happens doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. You've got to believe and trust that it's going to be different, that it can change. It can get better, right? That whole kind of vibe. And I don't mean to imply that you're just like, yeah, whatever it is, what it is. I don't mean that. But that's sort of what I mean. But in a much more like, well, I'm just going to roll the dice and see what happens kind of vibe, right? A lot more like up, a little more spunky, if that makes sense. I don't know, but that's what I'm getting. So then we have what is the outcome of this lesson. So if you can soothe yourself and remind yourself of just how phenomenal you are, if you can believe in yourself and incorporate the sort of boost in your sort of self-esteem by telling yourself how awesome you are every day, what's the outcome going to be? So we have this glorious card of surrendering to spirit. I want you to listen to this message, okay? It says, hand your situation over to the divine and let go of your attachment to the outcome. So this isn't about you're not connected. This is about staying out of your own way in terms of staying out of the outcome, right? Enjoy the journey. Every step is a step. Enjoy the journey. Appreciate each step and the step of the journey, right? Like we said earlier when we were talking about when we were doing Kristen's reading. Imagine yourself with your foot on the step, just outside that door. Doesn't matter where you're going, really. It's about the fact that you're going somewhere, right? I mean, it's all the way that you look at it. It's the perspective of it, right? You can make that situation totally positive or totally negative. So having faith in yourself to believe that you have possibilities and opportunities in front of you, that you inspire and motivate yourself, will allow you to sort of propel yourself to this point where all things are possible, if that makes sense. All right. That's what I'm getting for you. Bora Bora, hello, my friend. She says, I missed the troll drama. Sort of. Yep. Although at this point, I think Aunna and I are trolling, but I don't know. Oh my gosh. Okay. Dance Free is up next. Oh my God, you guys, we're getting there. Woohoo! And I'm sure I got to go. Like Mark has been waiting like all weekend to go play skating, play hockey. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm still here. Okay. Oh, thank you, Janet. Have a good night, my dear. So glad that you could join us.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, now I'm shuffling and the cards fall out, and literally 3 cards fall out.
Awesome.
All right.
I love it.
Janfrey, darling. Okay.
Darling.
What your new moon intention should be is speaking up, speaking your truth, being authentic to yourself. I don't know if you can tell in the background, in the bushes, you've got a bunch of hands raised up in a fist. It's like that encouragement to be who you are because your voice is needed. And how do you incorporate this intention into your life? You focus on your good juju. Because you got some good juju. You know, I've noticed in several different chats, people listen to you a little more clearly and authentically than they listen to others. There's something about the way you word things that makes what you're saying impactful. Okay. Don't change who you are. Tap into that so that when you speak up, your true intentions, your true good vibes are being understood more clearly. And if you do that, you shine, baby. I mean, you shine. You are seen as somebody who is grounded, balanced, full of knowledge and wisdom. Someone that they can trust. Okay? So take this new moon and allow yourself to speak up. Okay, dear.
Okay, we have been in sync pretty much all night, would you not say?
Pretty much. On this one, you're gonna throw that all.
Jans Free, do you I'm not sure if you feel like you may have a toxic situation around you or someone who is, someone who's not being honest around you or something of that nature.
Did you get the beginning of the story and I got the end again?
Maybe. I don't know, but so what should your new moon intention be? I've got energy. So let me just show you what I got, and then I'll try to explain what I'm feeling. So we've got energy. Now I want you to know that card came out upside down. This isn't a deck that you really read in reversals, but this is important in this story. So, it's like turning the energy around, right? Picking the vibe up, right? How can you best incorporate this intention into your life? We've got seeing the big picture or the bigger picture. So focus, right? I feel like you are picking up a vibe that something is not right. And this is asking you to sort of listen to that and honor that. Okay. So then the outcome or the lesson for this new moon, we've got the devil card or the ego card in this deck. Okay. So that is usually illusion. It's toxic behaviors, toxic relationships, dependency. a behavioral pattern or a situation that you're having difficulty sort of getting out of that cycle, right? Now, interestingly enough, and this is why I did the next part that I did. So I flipped the deck upside down, right? Because normally I wouldn't read the upside down of a deck if I'm pulling one card, but I did, and I've got the moon card. So the moon card is about illusion and disillusion. It's either highlighting something that you're supposed to see, showing you something directly in front of you, or showing you the thing that you thought was there is not a problem at all. It's not there, right? And then I was like, okay, what? Not that I don't understand the cards, but what are you trying to tell me? Because I feel like I need to give you more. So then I pulled one more card and I got illumination. So I feel like this new moon is going to be illuminating something that you need to see in terms of either a different energy shift or breaking a cycle or a pattern or some kind of like toxicity that might be around you, like work, people, friends, something, you know what I mean? There's something that's about to shift. So I think that your intention needs to be very super positive and about your personal energy space, right? How you protect that from negativity around you.
Yeah, once again, you got the beginning and I got the end, because if she taps into her juju, pays attention to her juju, it gives her the strength and the power to speak up for herself and realize that she has support behind her.
You know what I'm feeling right now, Jan's Free, that if you I don't know if you what's the word I'm looking for? I feel like you might be Oh no, it's fine. It's okay. I'll do it. No, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Don't, you know what? You go home and relax and I'll do it. I feel like you're being taken advantage of somehow. And
making excuses
and you're making excuses
for their behavior.
For the behavior, and you're not standing up for yourself. And this is asking you to set the intention to correct that and shift that energy to make this about you rather than everyone else. Because even if you're not doing it, like you're not saying no, I'm not doing it. You're saying, I'm sorry, I'm busy. That's a totally different tone, a totally different vibe, and it makes you feel excuse me, like you're not like blaming yourself, right? You're not holding yourself responsible if things go south. You are just stating your truth. I'm busy, I'm sorry. Exactly. So in other words, just own it and have no regrets about it. It's okay for you to stand up for yourself. It's that kind of vibe. Hope that makes sense. Hope that resonates. All right, Mika's up next with I need a feel-good reading, cards that will make me feel better. Well, we will do our best. No guarantees.
Let's see which ones.
All right, Mika.
Definitely steer clear of the Kipper, because Kipper is not about feel good.
I hope that explanation helped a little bit more, Jan's Free.
No.
Well, all right. Well, when they come out like that, you got to read them, you know. I have the craziest situation that occurred last week, friends. So you know how I shuffle my cards like this, right? Like I'm not going to do it because they'll all fall, but you know how I do that, right? So I was asking a question and I shuffled the deck. I was back here doing cards for my own self, not a recording. And while I was thinking of the question and I was doing this, I had like 10 cards turn right side up in the deck, only on this side though, as I was shuffling. And I was like, wow, that's weird. So I looked at them and I was like, oh my God, that's like the total answer to my question that I was thinking in my head. And I put them back in the deck. I noted what I got, put them back in the deck, kept shuffling, asked my question. I didn't get the same cards, but I got the same answer. And I was like, and then I just put the cards away and walked away. And I was, sometimes when spirit freaks me out like that, I'm like, okay, listen, I need to sit down and think about this. It's a lot. James Free says, speak up and stand up for myself. Got it. I am busier now, so I gotta say it. I was always helping others. Yeah. Listen, you can say to someone, you know what? I'm super busy right now. I've got 15 minutes. That doesn't make you a bad person. That means that you are looking out for yourself, because you're not going to be any good to anybody if you burn yourself out, right?
Yep.
Sounds like you are needed by a lot of people. And people want your opinions and advice about stuff. So yeah, conserve your energy kind of vibe, right?
Okay, Mika dear. I'm not sure if you are going to consider this a feel-good reading or not.
Nice way to start, Anna.
Well, no, because while I get one message when I look at the cards, when she sees the cards, she may read it differently. She may feel it differently. So, from my perception, what your new moon intention should be is dedication. Dedication to what it is that you are trying to manifest.
Mm-hmm.
Now realize, dedication does not mean work yourself to the bone until you can't function anymore. Dedication is about staying focused and staying true. Don't allow someone else's priorities to overtake yours.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Stay dedicated. Now, how can you manifest that intention, that dedication? This is weird, but to me it makes sense. Is to travel. Depending on what it is that you are trying to manifest, you may need to leave your usual surroundings. Now, when I say travel, I'm not saying you have to go across the seas, even though a nice little trip to France would not be amiss, or to Spain or what have you. If you can afford it, have at it, But this travel feels more like going to a little known stream just for an afternoon, or what some people would consider, sorry, I'm using my English. If you need my New Yorker, if you need to go to bumfuck Egypt to get away from the stress that surrounds you,
we try so hard now. For entertainment purposes only.
Then take the time and do that. Because while you need to be dedicated to what you're trying to manifest, you also need to be dedicated to your personal well-being, emotional health, and balance. If you can do that, this is the card that I say she may read it different. Your outcome will be what he says calls the fear. But if you look, he has a smile on his face as he's dangling over that head over the lava. He's not afraid. He has conquered what he was fearful of. He has empowered himself. So stay focused. Take time to yourself, even through travel, even if it's just an hour away, 30 minutes away, 2 days away.
Hold on 1 second, sorry.
And you will conquer the fears that you have on this pathway that you're walking. as that old saying goes, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. And fear can be debilitating because we allow our minds to over process the information that we're given to the point of stagnation.
Yeah.
If you want something, go after it.
Absolutely. Okay, so Mika, this is what I got for you. What should your new moon intention be? Reflecting on your priorities. What is it that you want? Why do you want it? Is this a want? Is this a need? Sometimes we have a whole laundry list full of things that we think we're supposed to be doing. So really check in on that list and make sure that you are doing what's best for you, right? How can you best incorporate this intention into your life? Now, this seems just like Aunna was like, what? This seems like a what kind of moment, but I hope that I can make it make sense. We've got creativity. And you're like, what? And I've said so many times here that, and I'm speaking for my personal self when I say this. When I was told by my therapist to release stuff, I was like, okay. You know, forgiveness, release, it's very, very difficult to do. And I'm not saying that you need to do that. I'm just making an example here when I say this. Then it was suggested to me by a friend that I try to channel that energy through a creative outlet. And I crochet. And so I started crocheting dishcloths and blankets and scarves and making up my own patterns and playing with color. And I found it very soothing and very relaxing. And I felt like I was accomplishing things. And before I knew it, I had picked myself up in terms of my mood, in terms of my vibration. I was no longer sitting there going like, why, what, how. Do you know what I mean? I was in a totally different frame of mind. Sometimes when we're putting our whole sort of being into a creative expression, we are releasing things. It's just being released in a totally different way, right? If that makes sense. So how do you incorporate that into your life is by literally sitting down. So like Aunna said, maybe you're going to travel, right? Take yourself to a stream and sketch, draw, think, just write, journal, express your feelings. Maybe you visualize. Maybe you don't leave the house and you visualize that you've gone somewhere. Where's your dream vacation? Write that down. In other words, through doing these creative expressions, you are going to be able to reflect on where you've been, what you've done, where you want to go, what you're going to accomplish, what you feel you need to conquer, what you need to release, all of those types of things, right? What is the outcome? So based on this card, I feel like you might be unsure of what it is that you're supposed to be doing or where it is that you're supposed to be going in terms of direction or path, right? And I feel like this exercise is going to help you sort of narrow it down that it doesn't matter necessarily in terms of, am I on the right path? What does that mean? Are you happy? Do you feel fulfilled? Are all your wants and needs taken care of? You have to ask yourself those questions. And if they're not, then you start making the changes necessary to bring those things into place, right?
Yep.
We've got go for it. So I feel like the intention is going to allow you to have an outcome of freedom, right? That anything that feels restrictive or that's holding you back in some way is going to be gone, because you're going to push that right out of the way by sort of telling yourself and reaffirming to yourself what it is that you really want, what it is that you really need. I hope that that makes sense. And now we have the lovely Farida, that has been so patient and asked, am I still on the list? Hi, Patricia. We did not forget about you, my friend. All right. Here we go. Oh, I want to shuffle more. Miko, you are ever so welcome, my dear.
Yeah, while you were talking about the whole creativity, I actually got a visual of Mika walking along a stream with a camera in her hand.
It's a great, I mean, you know, it's a great way to express yourself. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of card spirit.
Yeah, several cards fell out for me also.
I got like 10. That's
only one of them flipped over, so that's the one I took.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Esther.
Okay. All right. Farida, what you are being basically called on to focus on, what your new moon intention should be, is seeing who's wearing the masks, removing the masks. Now, this could be someone else or it could be you. But in all honesty, I'm feeling it's more you. Things that you're telling yourself, that you're believing in, that you are literally lying to yourself about something that is very, very important to your overall happiness. Okay. What you need to incorporate in this unmasking is truth. Be willing to look yourself in a mirror and accept yourself for who you are. The good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, the fantabulous, the magical. You need to accept every aspect of yourself so that you can stop lying to yourself about what is going on. You are stronger, more beautiful, more powerful than you have ever given yourself credit for. The reason why I say it like that is because if you face the truth of who you are, accept every aspect of yourself, the outcome is stronger ties. This card is called the etheric card, and a lot of people assume it's talking about the connection to your ancestors. And while yes, it does have some connection to your ancestors, it's more about the connections that you have in life. Your significant other, your siblings, your children, your parents, your best friends. Okay? Face the truth of who you are. Accept every aspect of yourself. Do not expect yourself to be perfect because there is no such thing as perfection. And you will be surprised at how much stronger those ties that you have to the people that you care about become. Because the more authentic you are with yourself, the more authentic you are with everyone that you love. Be willing to remove the mask. Okay, dear.
Hi, Karen. Thank you for being here. I would love to give you a moon reading, except for we still have 5 questions to go, and we've been here for 3 hours. So, unfortunately, I don't think that we're going to be able to accommodate that request.
I didn't realize we still had 5 questions.
Yep.
Don't ask me why. I thought Farida was the last one.
No.
Okay.
And I do have to go. My aunt has just now called me, so I'm a little bit concerned about my sister who's in hospital. Okay, so Frito, this is what I've got for you. So in terms of what should your new moon intention be? We've got the World card. The World card is about accomplishments. It's about completion. It's about achievement. It's about happiness, celebration, wholeness. It is the end of the major arcana in terms of that journey in Tarot, which means it's the end of something and starting of something else. Very difficult to move forward when you're stuck, when you feel stuck. For whatever reason, you don't see the completion or the joy or accept that you have made these achievements. You don't want to, or are not allowing yourself to acknowledge this. How do you incorporate this into your life? We have rejection. You're literally not doing that. This is not a judgment. This is just me telling you what the cards say, okay? Believe me when I say that I understand. I have diagnosed anxiety panic disorder, so I get it. But rejecting it. Rejecting it because it is easier to be negative when that is how we feel, when we're down, when we're low, etc., than to lift yourself up and see possibilities, to see positive in something. It's scary to think of change and opening yourself up to expose yourself, to take the mask off, as Anna said. It's difficult. It's scary.
Yeah.
Right? But rejecting it is what's holding you in that stuck pattern. And so the point that I'm trying to make is this is the end, but you are resisting the newness of the new cycle that you're about to begin. So you're stuck on that like tail end of the old cycle. Does that make sense? So you can't move forward and you're just like spinning your wheels. So the last card is the outcome or the lesson for this new moon phase. Now, I don't want to be trite when I say this. This is just the card, right? It's stepping into your power. How do you do that? I can't fix this for you. None of us here can fix this for you, but what we can do is we can be your soul tribe. We can support you. We can lift you up. We can fill you with love and positivity and information and all kinds of tips and tricks that will help you. You know, what crystals to use, ritual releases, all these kinds of things. You have to want it in order for it to start to shift. And I'm not implying that you don't want it. I'm just saying, right? You have to want to replace the fear that keeps you grounded in that spot and release it so that you can move forward. And I know how hard that is. I was stuck there for almost 9 years. So when I say this, I'm speaking from a place of personal experience. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a therapist. I am not a medical professional. I am just someone who has anxiety. And so what I want to say to you is this. You're asking how. How do you step into your power? You need to believe in yourself. You need to know who you are. You need to know your strengths. You need to know why you are here. What do you bring to the table, right? By telling yourself things like you're beautiful, that you're phenomenal, that you're exceptional, that you are smart, that you are funny, that you are compassionate, that you're empathetic, all of those things. It sounds trite, but it's the truth, right? Saying things to yourself like affirmations, like be what you want to see, right? Things of that nature. That's how
I
you
would
lift
begin
yourself
with your
up.
go-to, honestly.
What's that?
I said I would begin with your go-to. And look in
And
the mirror.
and
Look
this
look
card,
in the mirror and
yeah,
talk to yourself like you are your own best friend.
I was getting there. See that communication? I pulled this card, right? And it's got communication, being heard, information coming in, listening and speaking your truth. So the information coming in, and I'm just going to put this out there, okay? I know this phase. I want help so bad. No one's hearing me. I'm yelling for help and no one's telling me what I want to hear. You have to be ready for the answers. And I'm not saying that you're not. I'm just saying you have to be ready for the answers. When the answers come, you have to be ready to take action. You have to be kind to yourself and tell yourself that you deserve to have this option in your life to be positive as opposed to be negative. And that's really what it is. In terms of, flipping your mood to a more positive mindset, if that makes sense, right? A great way to express yourself is through the help of a therapist. Journaling, where you write your thoughts down. Doing mirror work is a great way to get in touch with who you are. And those are the 3 things that I would suggest that you could start with, because we're not doctors, we're not therapists. Yes, I can relate to a certain degree, but in this particular sort of format, I can't really do much more than what we're doing. But what I want you to know is that you're not alone, and that this community, no matter whose room you go into, you will find the most supportive and loving people in the chat who will embrace you and lift you up and hold your hand and help you as you navigate this journey, right? Go into rooms, ask questions when you feel you need to get the support that you need. Don't give up on yourself, right? You have to believe in yourself. You have to want to make this change. And a great tool is looking into what they call C. So C as in cat, B as in Bob, T as in Tom, cognitive behavioral therapy. It is an amazing tool. It is so helpful to help you literally sort of change your mindset from seeing things in the negative form and changing it into a positive form. So think of the glass half empty. Now it's half full. It is a whole program that your therapist can sort of provide to you. And it's very helpful. But it is a consistent, and it is a conscious, and it's a persistent sort of exercise. Like, You have to do it every single day with every sentence that you speak, every sentence that you write, every thought that comes into your mind. You have to work at it all the time to change the learned behavior from, well, I suck, I'm fat, I'm horrible, I'm this, I'm that, into I'm awesome. Right? You really, really have to work at it really, really hard. It is not easy. And that's why I was saying what I was saying before, that this community is fantastic. They will be here. They will lift you up. They will hold your hand. They will support you. If in the chat, the work is very challenging. It's very difficult, and it can be very discouraging sometimes. Healing ourselves is not easy, no matter what our pains are from. But know this. Know that whatever burden you carry, whatever past pain, whatever the trauma is, whatever the hurt is, that as long as you hold on to that burden, whether that burden is negativity or that burden is something that happened to you as a child, carrying that burden around does not define you, and it's not yours to carry. Because as long as you carry it, you hunch over from the weight of it, right? It pulls you down, it sucks you down. And it's okay for you to release it and stand up tall and hold your head up high and reclaim your power back. You know what I mean? So I hope that helps. And I do want to say to you that I think that you would be well served to probably find someone in your local community that you could call and speak to, right? Like a professional therapist or sort of counselor person, where you could get some one-on-one time from a qualified person. I hope that you can find that within your own community. Like geographical community, I mean. So I thank you very much for coming here and being so honest, and I hope that helped a little bit. I do hope that you come back and tell us how you're doing. And I wish you many blessings, my dear.
Sorry, I had to dip out. I needed coffee.
No, it's all good.
I just wasn't doing it.
I have to go very soon. So we have Catherine up next, who has waited ever so patiently for her reading. Thank you, Linda. That's very kind. JR, you're next after Catherine, love. You're very welcome, Frida. Hang in there, my friend. Hang in there.
Okay, Catherine. I like this. Sorry. Your new moon intention should be focusing on what sparks your passion. It's
Look.
what sparks your passion? It's so many of us see something new, be like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, but we're so used to talking ourselves out of trying something new. So we don't find what truly sparks our passion. You're being encouraged to follow what sparks your passion. And if you don't know what it is, try this and try that until you find it. The best way to incorporate passion into your life is to go with the flow. Don't fight the current. Something sparks your interest. Look into it. You know, You don't have to take a deep dive into a new thing. Just try it out, you know? And if it makes you feel good, then take a kind of like step into the wading pool, try it out. If you like it, go into a regular pool. If it's still enjoyable for you, then take a dive in the ocean, darling. Go with the flow. And if you do that, the outcome will be this, what seems like this insatiable hunger that you have in your life will finally be filled by the passion that you're following. Feed the hunger and go with the flow. Okay.
Okay, so Catherine, what is this? What does this say? Sorry, like who's on first at this point? What should your new moon intention be? And I showed my card. I've got love. I don't know if you're working on you, if you're working on healing something, but I think you're getting very close. If the cards are right, you're getting very close to feeling a complete shift, which is amazing. That's why I'm smiling. So, how can you best incorporate this love into your life? We have a time for healing. I don't know why, but like I'm gonna cry. Like,
yeah, I felt the same way when I was reading. That's like, oh my God, I love this.
It's just time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you spend enough time beating yourself up and second guessing and back and forthing it and over it and back again and rehashing and rehearsing and you know what I mean? Like all of that stuff. It's just time to let it go. I'm getting there, sweetheart. I'm getting there. You need to let go of that. Any attachment first. And when I say attachment, I mean the hurt that it caused you inside.
The doubt.
The you part of this situation. Where you don't think you're good enough, that it was all your fault, that you're not pretty enough, that you're not thin enough, that you're not tall enough, that your hair isn't yellow enough, your skirts weren't short enough, like whatever. This affected you on the inside, and that's the thing that you are trying to heal, right? So the outcome or the lesson for this new moon phase, if you can bring love in as your intention and you can incorporate this healing of your own personal self, what's going to be the outcome?
Oh, nice. Okay.
You're going to get to know yourself in a whole new way. You're going to gain a new understanding of yourself. You're going to respect yourself. You're going to love yourself. You're going to appreciate yourself. And I almost want you to like stand in front of the mirror every day and say, I love you. I appreciate you. You're phenomenal. You're awesome. Like those kind of things. But it isn't going to work unless you believe it.
Right.
Just remember to try to see in yourself what other people see in you. And that may help it come out, right?
What I love about that intimacy card, though, is that once you can be that intimate with yourself.
Absolutely. then
it makes it so much easier, not only to attract the right person, but to communicate.
Well, you know
need.
what you want, what you need, what you don't want, what you will not take, what you will.
Exactly.
You develop a set of standards and a set of boundaries, and it becomes about you first and foremost, and that is what loving yourself is all about, right? Having a set of parameters that you sort of, or boundaries, whatever you want to call them, that you sort of work around, right? Having a set of values. When you don't love yourself, you don't value yourself, and that's what that intention is about loving yourself and sort of bringing all of that back, right, to where I feel like you used to have it, and like this situation took it away, or sort of erased it from your memory somehow, or changed it. You're going to bring it back now. You're going to bring it back. I like that. That was good.
That was
all right. JR, my friend. Oh, bye, Joan. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, you guys, I really do have to go. My aunt is calling, probably worried about my sister or God knows what. Lord help us. Okay.
JR. Oh. I don't think.
JR, how are you feeling, by the way, dear? How are you doing? You doing okay? I didn't ask you. I apologize. Sorry. You are very welcome, Catherine. Many blessings to you, my friend. All right.
Okay. JR. I'm sorry for how this begins, but I like the way it ends.
Nice. Warning. No.
Pretty much. Okay. I don't know how you are about chaos, drama, and all that other stuff. However, your new moon intention should revolve around chaos. Whether it's creating it or clearing it up.
Wow.
It's all about chaos. Okay.
Awesome.
How you can best incorporate that intention for this month is asking questions. Who's the cause of the chaos? Are you the cause of the chaos? Is there a reason for the chaos?
It's my fault. I did it. No, I'm just.
Hey, I ain't got no problem saying it's my fault. I did it.
No, I meant I was the cause of the chaos. Then I was like, no, that's not true. Okay, fine. I did it. No.
You need to be asking some serious questions to figure out why this chaos is around.
I know I'm asking questions, but why am I still around?
Sometimes that chaos is designed to clear out what you no longer need in your life.
Okay. You know, you've been on too long when the people in the chat have had to leave to charge their phones and come back.
What your best the outcome if you do this, if you ask the questions that are needed to be asked, is flow. It's like everything just falls into place the way it was intended to be. Ask the questions, clear out the chaos, clear out the negativity, clear out the blockages so that you can go with the flow. Because that's where spirit wants you, going with the flow. Okay, dear.
Okay, hold on. See, now the other aunt, my other aunt's texting me. Bear with me 1 second so I can complete my thought.
Shoot. I tried to complete a thought and ended up on 5 others. Let's see. Well, I hope you enjoyed your snack, Mika.
Okay. JR, I do apologize. Sorry. Okay, so we start out with the 7 of fire for your what should your new moon intention be. So this is feeling challenged, but being resistant and being determined. Like, I am struggling, but I am determined to get to the bottom of it. I am resilient. I will not allow myself to slide backwards, kind of vibe, right? I love this for you, Jared. Love. Okay. It's like it's my reading, and I love that. How can you best incorporate this intention into your life? My friend, we have the Awakening card or the Hanged Man in the traditional tarot. This is taking an intentional pause. In other words, okay, I need to, just stop the ride and let me get off. I need to figure out, where do I want to go? How do I want to do this? Where am I at? What am I doing? How am I getting there? Right? It's trying to gain a new understanding, a new perspective, right? Shifting your focus, trying to sort of rev yourself up in a way that you haven't done before, right? What is the outcome or the lesson for this new moon phase? 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups. It's about partnerships. It's about blending energy. It's about harmony. It's about joy. It's about commitment, reconciliation. It's about collaboration. So maybe you're working with someone. Maybe you're going to meet a partner. Maybe you have a partner. It's about coming together, right? Your energies blending together. What does that say? That says that whatever the struggle is, whatever the challenge is, that you are going to gain a new perspective, and it's going to come out on the other side where you're going to be more connected instead of apart, which is lovely. And just as an FYI, on the bottom of the deck, because we weren't reading that card, but it's there, so I'll tell you. Boom. We've got the Fool card or the Dreamer card in this deck. New beginning. My friend, you did it kind of idea, right? This is beginning, being protected, new adventures, sort of a very sort of carefree, sort of like, wow, like there's so much for me to look at. There's so many things that I could do. Like, oh, I can't wait. Like that kind of thing. It's like that last piece of pie or that last piece of cake that you're at work at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You're like, ooh, gonna go home and get me some of that chocolate cake. You know, that kind of feeling. It's kind of that kind of excitement on Christmas morning where, ooh, is it time to open up the presents? It's that kind of vibe. Very exciting.
Yep.
I love that for you, Jack.
And I find it funny that our cards played off of each other in the exact same spots.
Absolutely. Okay. So we have Michelle Shining Light, who asked the question way earlier tonight. She said, read me last because she had to leave. And Michelle Shining Light says, will we be staying here and moving once my lease is up in May? Guidance from Spirit. Even though we weren't taking that question, but since she waited 3.5 hours, here we go. So we'll do it in the same new moony kind of idea, if we can. Lisa's like, I plan on watching. Yep. It's not your imagination. We're really still here. Holy cow. Listen, the readings have been excellent. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for everyone who's been in the chat and participating away. Please do go check out my friend Aunna. If you're not already subscribed to her channel, consider showing her some love. She's awesome, as you can see. Do give us a thumbs up and make sure that you got your bell notification ticked off so that you know whenever I upload a new video. And that will be tomorrow morning for the weekly wellness read. Of course, if you want to book a private reading with me, information is in the description box below the video. And I will be back on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time with Richie from Longman Tarot, where we will continue to talk about all, what is it? Matters of the heart. I was going to say all matters. I'm like, nope, that's not right. Matters of the heart.
Okay. This one may be a little bit long because I was confused. So I asked for a clarifier and Spirit decided to throw down 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Michelle, darling, doing it in the same format. The new moon is bringing you passion, which I find it funny. Two readings in a row. You need to ask yourself some serious questions about whether or not you even want to live in this house or this apartment, whatever. Because that's the one, that's the question, that's the card that really had me confused with your question. So when I asked for a clarifier, I got intentions and speak up fall out at the exact same time and flipped over. So, do you really love where you're living? If you do, you need to speak up about that. Either with the property manager, the owner, whatever. Or maybe, I don't know if you live alone or if you live with somebody else. Maybe if you're living with somebody else, make your intentions clear about what you want in your home. If this home makes you happy, I'm sure there's a way that you can find to maintain that home. But if it doesn't really make you happy, I don't really know why you would even want to stay there, because I feel that with that passion card, if you write down on a piece of paper what you want in a home, how you want to feel in your home, you may be surprised by how little the current place you are living speaks to your soul. You may find something somewhere else less expensive. Heck, it might even be more expensive, but it's more aligned to who you are now. And the reason why I say that is because Spirit, in incorporating this intention of passion into your life, you're being called on to look at what you love. What is it about the place that you are living now that you actually love? If you don't love being in that location, then find someplace closer to what you are aligned to. And the reason I get those feelings that you may not actually be happy in your current location is because you're being called on to surrender. Now, is this surrender to a potential rent increase? Is this surrender to the current environment? Or is this surrender to what you truly want? And to me, that's more in tune, because you're being shown what your passions are. Surrender to your passion. If this current place doesn't speak to you, doesn't tug at your heart on a regular basis, then you need to surrender this place and find something that speaks to you more clearly. Okay.
Okay. So, Michelle, this is what I've got, and this is interesting. So we come out with the 10 of Earth, first of all, and the 10 of Earth is what is your intention. So this is the happy family card. in terms, or not the happy family card, the happy home card, in terms of your foundation, your stability, your home, right? It's your sense of security, your property. Then for how do you incorporate this into your life, this intention. So this to me is moving, the desire to move, the want to move, right? Or the need to move, whichever the case may be. We have the Knight of Air, so the Knight of Swords. So this is about really being quite motivated and quite determined to see this through. I feel like you want this for a specific set of reasons, but it's possible that the reasons are not, they may not serve your highest good. They may be a more like reactive thing, if that makes sense. So in other words, like what Aunna was, exactly what Aunna was saying, right? Like, do you want to move because it's 12 miles to the closest bus stop kind of idea. So this isn't, I want to move for that kind of reason. It's, I just want to move. And I'm not saying that is, I'm just trying to give an example of like what I'm picking up. This is telling me that you got to really get in touch with why do you want this to happen, right? Is this really what you want? We've got the caution card as the outcome or the lesson. So as soon as I pulled this, I thought, be careful what you wish for. The grass isn't always greener on the other side, if that makes sense. So I feel like the answer to the question is only you know whether you're going to move or not. Like, do you really have to? Do you really want to? Is that what you really, really want? Because if you do, I see it. I see that it could happen for you, that you could make that be a possibility. But I don't know that that's what you really want. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What I'm saying? Okay. So I would tell you to be very cautious in terms of, maybe, and this is a personal experience. I went to rent an apartment one time and we looked beautiful new apartment, all like, it wasn't new, but it was updated, right? New counters, new fridge, new stove, new carpet, new this, new that. And that's what I thought I was getting. Yeah, no, that's not what I got at all. And I wouldn't have moved into the place if I had have seen what I was going to get versus what I saw that I thought I was applying for. If you get you know what I mean? So like They show you the model apartment and you end up with like the builder grade version instead of the brand new appliances kind of idea. Do you know what I mean? So just do your due diligence. If you feel that this is like, if this is a necessary move because, maybe they've jacked the rent up or something of that nature, then do your due diligence and make sure that whatever you're going for is exactly what you're going to get. That's all. And with that being said, we are done.
Okay.
I thank you all for hanging out with us for 3 hours and 32 minutes. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much.
Sorry, we got on our individual soapboxes along the way.
It's all good. Thank you so much, my friend, for joining me. I am absolutely knackered. I don't know what else to say other than thank you. I have to go. The potty is calling me. Friends, thank you so much for being here. Happy new moon, and we will see you next time when we see you. And until then, we wish you many blessings and, of course, a happy new moon. Mwah!
Bye.
Bye, everybody.